spread the footy, try and share it around as much as they can. Don't play as much as contested football as probably what St Mary's would like. But yeah, Simpson down there, it'll be an interesting matchup. I'm looking forward to that. Simpson down one end, Calder down the other. Calder's got 20 goals for the season. But for me, the Wanderers back line, Mitchell Taylor's down back there, Daniel Wheatra, Braden McLean, he's kind of the quarterback and sets it all up. But for me, it's Brody Newman. He is the best intercepting marking player in the competition. He's just, he's the general back there. He sets them up. They set up a lot of their offensive sort of forays from their back half. So for me, it's the Wanderers defence and their ability to launch. For St Mary's, they've got some good players as well, and plenty of those with grand final premiership experience. Number 3 for St Mary's, Lockie Taylor. He's been going pretty good and racking up a fair few possessions. Nate Paredes, their captain, he's been good. Shannon Rioli chips in. I think last week Nick Yarran in their win against Palmerston put on a bit of a masterclass too. So plenty of depth in St Mary's, but I think that top tier talent at Wanderers, they've probably got it. But the St Mary's depth probably just goes a bit deeper.
We'll come back to that very shortly. Division 1 game just completed out here, and really interesting to see as the Division 1 teams walked from the field arm in arm with Daniel Motlop, of course the father of Jesse Motlop, who has just been drafted to Carlton. Daniel having played for North Melbourne and Port Adelaide, and then arm in arm of course with Raphael Clark, who a former St Kilda player, just trying to make his way back to the St Mary's Premier League team. Both St Mary's and Wanderers out on the field here at Tracy Village. This is NTFL Footy on SEN. Plenty more to come after this.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you. Whatever journey you're on, a road trip with mates or family adventure, Tyre Power has you covered during their big holiday sale on now. Your #1 destination on Google Maps for safety, Tyre Power is ready to help you plan that next driving holiday. During the big holiday sale on now, buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon passenger tyres. So, before you hit the road, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. Go and see Grant and Des at Tyre Power Darwin, 131 Stewart Highway.
Being at the greatest events on the sporting calendar is what makes sport fans tick. And to witness the biggest sporting moments in Australia, Ballpark Entertainment can get you there. AFL, NRL, horse racing, soccer, basketball, cricket, boutique events and more. Ticketing, corporate suites and money can't buy experiences. Get the best access to the best sporting events with Ballpark Entertainment. Making memories. ballparkentertainment.com.au.
If there's one thing you can be certain of these days, it's that at Chemist Warehouse, your health is our top priority, which is why we're now a COVID-19 vaccination provider. To check your eligibility, scan the QR code in-store or visit our website, chemistwarehouse.com.au/COVID. Then simply book your appointment and we'll see you in store on the day of your vaccination. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
The Sounding Board with Craig Hutchison and Damien Barrett. It's sport, it's the media, it's talking about the issues that matter.
And Hutch, I want to start today by giving some of my sympathy and support for a man who's been under siege in the past few days. Sunrise Weekend host, Matt Doran. I, like Matt Doran, could think of 423,626 things I'd rather do than listen to an Adele album. He's copying it, Hutchie, for not listening to it. Adele realised he hadn't listened to the album, which she's promoting and releasing. Asked him, had he? And he said no.
And the missed the email defence, how do you think that flew? Like, that was...
Oh, it was plausible.
But he's got to have a laugh at himself now. The only way out of this is to double down on mocking yourself for a good year, and people will move on. By January, it'll be endearing if he plays it well. I'll be doing things like, I don't know, when you ring the boss next, you've got to say, hello, it's me. You know, you just got to lean in on the humour side of your muck up. If you try and make it go away, no one's going to give you another chance.
The Sounding Board podcast with Hutchie and Damo. Thanks to Drinkwise. If you're choosing to have a drink, choose to drink wise.
Your local bowls club is seeking competitive teams. You'll need your natural, whose sporting prowess is unmatched. Your technician to roll you in and out of the tightest spots. Your thinker to lead your game plan. Your enforcer to strike when needed. And Steve, he can get the drinks. Local legends wanted. Search Bowls Club near me to join a team or start one.
Remember this?
There is nothing like a crown.
And they're right. There is nothing like a Crown for the best range of new second-hand and rental forklifts, for the best parts and service on all makes and models, and for unique and innovative technology, guaranteed reliability and superior quality. Crown, the forklift experts. Check them out at crown.com or call 131 604. No risk, no worries.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Welcome back to Tracy Village Oval here this afternoon. A great game in front of us between the Wanderers Eagles and the St Mary's Saints. Both teams out on the ground, just going through a few warm-ups. Don't need to do too much warm-up to get warm out here, that is for sure. It's a nice warm and humid afternoon. And interestingly, we've just spotted a player out there. Number 22, Stan Tyson for the St Mary's Football Club. Never seen it before. He's out there in long sleeves. I cannot believe it. I don't think I've ever seen that in NTFL Premier League football at all. But perhaps he's just being sun smart, Shannon.
Well, it's making me hot looking at him. Wow, that's extraordinary, yes. Look, feels like 37 degrees. There is full sun here at Tracy Village Oval as the two captains go in, McLean and also Paredes. So, yeah, this is a very, very warm afternoon here. But, yes, we'll try and find out. It might be sun smart. And if it is, well done.
I'd say well done. Well done. I know when I have to do some cricket umpiring here for the juniors at times, I'm out there with my long sleeves on, I can tell you now, standing out there for 4 hours.
Standing, not running around.
Not running around. We've still got to stand there. So the toss out here, won by St Mary's. They're kicking to the right of your dial. Wanderers, of course, to the left. Their skipper, Braden McLean. St Mary's is Nathaniel Paredes. And Brenton Toy, let me see if I can get this right. Braden McLean, son of Rod McLean, therefore nephew of Michael McLean.
Great Magic McLean.
Magic McLean.
Western Bulldogs.
That's it. That's it. So some really great names, some great lineage around in NTFL top-end footy here.
And you mentioned we've touched on a couple of the Motlops and McLeans, obviously, with Wanderers, but, you know, we can't go past the Longs for St Mary's and the Riolis. So we've got Jacob Long out there today. Shannon Rioli played his 200th last week. So, you know, for people outside of Darwin, at least you start your footy. You know, some are brave and move clubs, but you find a lot of the surnames and the history of clubs is just so strong and powerful. And I guess that was what was a little different, Brenton, with the Tiwi Bombers coming in as well, because St Mary's had such a big tradition of, you know, the Riolis coming from the Tiwi Islands, and now, you know, with the Tiwi Bombers, I'm sure, you know, they would have had two choices in the early days.
Yeah, I think, you know, we probably see that with St Mary's. St Mary's in their early days was set up to allow the Tiwi Island players to come in and play, but I think we see that across the competition. I think when Palmerston won their couple of flags, they had Edward Darcy and Thomas Simon and Trevor Wilson and a few like that. When Waratahs won their flags, I think they had Romeo Yulangura, Rupert Papungamiri, so
Puran Taramiri.
Yep, a few
Storm
of them.
And Norman.
Yep, Norman Pangramini. So all of the names. But yeah, certainly, you know, the Tiwi Bombers coming in. You know, other clubs have had to sort of be a bit dynamic and a bit more flexible in terms of how they look at, you know, putting their list together, predominantly with their small forwards and their match winners.
Yeah, certainly been an important part of territory footy, no doubt about it. They're struggling a bit at the moment, though, the Tiwi Bombers, beaten, I think, by 62 points yesterday. So just struggling a bit. Need to find something. And out here at the moment, the players having been through the toss, players now taking their places out on the field.
And just have a look out there, the man with the hat on and number 4 on the back with umpiring out in the central area, Joel Morrison, CEO of Cricket NT. So, yes, we've got a lot of big names out there, not just playing, but we've got the CEO of Cricket Northern Territory out there as the central umpire, about to toss the ball up and get us underway. And what is, can't wait, boys, match of the round. Yeah,
match of the round indeed. Round 9 here, NTFL football, the last match of this round being on a Sunday afternoon here at Tracy Village. Quite a good crowd in. Home game for the Wanderers Eagles. Let's see how they go. Joel Morrison holding the ball aloft. About to get this game underway here. Tosses the ball high. Ryan Smith up against Sebastian Priest. Neither can win it down cleanly. Tap through to Labastida. Given away to Nick Yarran. Away on the right boot. Kicks up through half forward. Looking out wide for a target and finds it. Mark taken there for St Mary's by Zach Robinson. Long kick from him. Doesn't quite find a teammate. Coming through strongly was Joel Cabillo for the Eagles. The high up and under kick. Oh, and out of bounds on the full. It landed on the ground. Bounced straight into the shins of Nick Yarran. And over the boundary line, out of bounds on the full. The ball to be taken by way of a free kick at left half back by Brodie Newman for the Eagles.
In front of the St Mary's fans, great crowd here at Tracy Village. Wobbly kick up the commentary wing. The umpire's going to call a hold. That's going to go against Fijo. And for St Mary's, that was a quick kick there from Hemsley, straight back to where it came. Bumped off the ball with Salmon. The umpire's going to say it was late. Bit of a pat in the back there. Salmon gets from Jerome Motlop. Ball was down field. Paredes goes to the right forward pocket, looking for Calder, but it's been taken in the left back pocket by Wanderers, and they try to switch play to the outer side.
And there he was, the interceptor, Brodie Newman, taking that great mark. Unfortunately, he's turned it over. Lockie Taylor now, left half forward. Normally plays on the wing for St Mary's, but hands off now to Jacob Long. Lopes through, terrible kick off the boot, a floater. Daniel Wheatrock cuts that off in the right back pocket for the Eagles. Flicks a handball out wide to a teammate in Braden McLean, his captain. His kick up through centre wing now goes to Sebastian Priest. Off to Thomas Motlop. Little chip forward towards Fijo. He can't pick it up. At ground level, the Saints do. They're there in numbers. Sweeping through is Hildebrandt. Nice handball from him to Lockie Taylor. Couldn't quite handle it cleanly. Away to a teammate in Rioli. Rioli on the right boot up towards Calder in front of Motlop. Didn't matter. Brodie Newman came flying through. Couldn't take the mark. Cleaned up by Brenton Motlop. Kick out wide now towards Marcus Totham. He's 20 metres on his opponent in Labastida. Has a bounce. Runs through half back. 10 metres inboard from the boundary. Kicking up towards a teammate, cut off there by Ryan Smith, the ruckman for St Mary's, and out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw-in right in front of the St Mary's faithful here at Tracy Village.
Good hustle there from Ryan Smith as well, because that was a big lead from Simpson. Ryan Smith up to the task, and he's going to go up against Priest. Right, looking into the sun, both of them. No clear tap down. Down on the ground, handball blindly by Gallus. Down on the ground is two Wanderers player. They're actually fighting over at Wanderers. Motlop came through with it. That was Jerome Motlop, but it's been turned over by Paredes. And Paredes has been taken in a beautiful tackle by Bo O'Connell for Wanderers, who takes off around from Paredes. Bo O'Connell into the left forward pocket, and that's why you take off early. Great mark on the 50 metres by Simpson. And Simpson, their goal kicker, Brenton, found a bit of space, but that was great work from O'Connell.
Yeah, it was great lead, great setup, but just the initiative by O'Connell to take the advantage and move the ball on quickly. Let's not underrate his influence as well. He's a 19-year-old, tied with the Nichols medal. Super player, Bo O'Connell.
So Simpson is going to have to hit it on 50. No breeze to speak of. Matt is on the mark. He's got it. He's got the distance, and he's got that no worry straight through the middle. That was nearly halfway up the sticks after he hit that sweetly on the 50-metre arc, and that was a slight angle as well, Brenton. That is one way to bring up your maiden goal for this afternoon and to put your team in front.
Yeah, he's a good-sized unit, Simpson down there, and he got a bit of separation on his opponent, but that kick, travelled a good distance and started a bit to the left and drifted back to the right. But good start there by Wanderers. Their defence has been under pressure and they've held up pretty well so far, and just the couple of forays forward and they're able to get a goal.
There he is, the big man, Edward Simpson, making his presence felt already. Back in the middle now, Ryan Smith up against Sebastian Priest. Priest wins that one down. Yarran first to it. Handball's out wide looking for Foster. Gathers on centre wing. Lopes away from an opponent in Erlinson. Handball to Labastida was untidy. Labastida picked it up well. Handball over the head of Yarran. Coming through strongly, Fijo. Wilkinson there for St Mary. Sees the ball over the boundary line. Disciplined play there by Wilkinson. Did well. Wins his team a boundary throw-in. And he stayed down here, Wilkinson. Got crashed into heavily by both McLean and Jerome Cabillo as the ruckman set up here.
Priest in front. Priest gets it tapped down to Paredes, the captain for St Mary's. Handball from Hildebrandt. St Mary's are away again through Paredes, who's been busy early. He goes in the right forward pocket, was looking for the lead of Calder, but it just beat the full forward, who's going to go and get the ball as well. He's jumped the fence. He's doing it all down there.
That's what you got to do here.
In NT footy, there's probably about 200 people here, but everywhere is trying to find a bit of shade at the moment around the trees and the stands, and Calder there just fetching his own ball.
Calder in the ruck contest, wins that one down. Wanderers momentarily take possession. Newman got a little handball away back to O'Connell. He got a handball, but only as far as Paredes. Paredes with a snap on goal from 35 out, and it curls just a little too far to the right-hand side. So a minor score for St Mary's. Wanderers 1 straight 6. St Mary's, that's their first score of the afternoon. They're 1 behind.
So Wanderers leading at the moment. A big kick looking towards Thomas Motlop. It was a good 60-metre kick on the outer wing. Ball will be tossed up, central wing, outer side. Great crowd here after a number of games of footy. Centre looks a bit boggy after we've had a bit of rain, but it's very dry here and a very hot Sunday afternoon for a 4 o'clock game.
Ruck contest again. Smith wins this one down. Yaron first there, couldn't pick up the footy. Eagles there in numbers. Over the footy, tackle being laid here. Ball spills out to Smith. Got a handball away to Paredes. Quick hands to Yaron. Outside of the right boot. Bounces. Newman just there beautifully again. Really well positioned. Braun coming through. Tackled. Brought to ground. Will it be called? Has to be. It is. Left half forward. St Mary's win the free kick. So Klusky, I think it may be out there. Left half forward. Goes with the long right booming boot. That is a good long kick off target though. Again, the minor score to St Mary's. So 2 behinds. They trail the Eagles 1 straight 6 and a 6.5 minutes gone in this first quarter. Good tight footy, Brenton.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know if this will make sense, but Wanderers seem to look better when they've got it, and St Mary's seem to look better doing what they should be doing when they haven't got it. So they're working better defensively, St Mary's. Wanderers offensively seem to be getting on top.
Little hold up in play as Brenton Motlop goes and retrieves 2 balls behind the post. Wheatra with the kick in duties goes to the left forward pocket, and the ball is just going to beat a number of players. He was looking for Priest, but the ball is going to beat all of them and go out for a throw-in right on the 50-metre arc. It's going to be favouring St Mary's as both ruckmen are just looking into the sun at the moment.
Boundary throw-in's a good one. Smith just takes it out of the ruck contest, handballs the ball forward. Taking the footy for St Mary's was Jack Gallagher. Then now the tackles come from the Eagles. Good play. Wheatra got a handball through. Ducking there was Fuller. And the umpires paid a high tackle. Clearly ducked into it. Taken high. Free kick paid. Play on now. Fuller out wide. Through half-back. Kicks long. Untidy kick. Taylor wins the race in front of Thomas Motlop, but neither of them can beat the boundary. So again, left half forward. Boundary throw-in. 8 minutes gone here. Eagles in the lead, 1 straight 6. St Mary's 2 behinds.
Smith's just come off for St Mary's. The ruckman's having a break. So Toa has come straight onto the field. He's going to go up in the ruck against Thomas Motlop. No, bit of confusion for Wanderers. So Thomas Motlop has indicated he's going to ruck against Toa. Toa just goes up unopposed in the end. Thomas Motlop stayed down. Bouncing ball picked up beautifully by Hemsley, and he's been tackled from behind in an even better tackle. So now Wanderers trying to go through the middle. Great catch by Salmon. He just handballed it off to Jacob Long. Massive kick up to full forward, diving, and a brilliant mark. Calder was falling backwards, and he has taken over his right shoulder, but more importantly, he's taken it about 2 metres out from the goals. And that was a huge up and under from Jacob Long. Calder just steps around, and that is straight through. And with that goal, not only is it Calder's first for the afternoon, but it puts him out in front. And it's St Mary's 8, leading Wanderers 6, 9.5 minutes gone in the opening term.
You mentioned that kick in, Shannon, by Jacob Long there. It was just out the back. Both players were out of position, but Calder was probably in position A. Motlop just caught out, but it was that quick entry, and it just put the Wanderers defence under pressure. I think if it comes in slow and you allow their numbers to come back and let Newman get set up and the likes, Wanderers seem to be working okay. But if they can get that quick forward entry in there and try and put the Saints, the Wanderers pressure under Wanderers defence under pressure, they'll go okay.
Back in the middle now. Toa up against Priest. One down by Priest. Toa back onto the footy really well. Got a handball away to a teammate in Geordie McMurtry. Goes laterally to Tyson, the man with the long sleeves on. Gets the footy. Handball's out wide to no one in particular. Mitchell Taylor there for the Eagles. Caught and did not handball the ball out, says the umpire. So a free kick will go to McMurtry. On centre wing, low drilling ball looking out there for Salmon. Picks it up on the first bounce. Handballs backwards and goes to Labastida. Evades an opponent beautifully. Handball back to Salmon. Through the corridor now. Low ball looking out here for Calder. In good position. Brenton Motlop tapped it out in front of himself really well. Gathered the footy. Kicked well. Good play. Deacon Braun takes the mark at left half back for the Eagles.
He just holds it up. Couple of leads, and then there's an ugly kick that he has now been outnumbered by St Mary's. They have all the numbers at the moment. Handball to Wilkinson. He gets a hurried kick down to right full forward. And there's a drop mark from Wanderers, but picked up cleanly by Braun. He gives a handball off to Matthew Motlop. Matthew Motlop goes into the middle of the park. Priest gets it. Priest goes for a bounce, if you don't mind. The ruckman takes 2 bounces. He's now just at the 50. Priest going for goal, going for goal. Has he got the bounce? He's got the distance, but he doesn't have the direction, and it goes through for a point.
Great speed there by a big fella. He takes the ruck contest there and then takes the game on.
And the kick out now, looking for Matt Wilkinson, was not the greatest of kick outs. One-handed, Jerome Motlop putting on the pressure. Wilkinson just toe pokes it in front of himself. Now brought down in a tackle there by Deacon Braun. And the umpire says, I will have it. No opportunity. Takes it here right in front of our commentary position. Left half forward here, favouring the Eagles. Ruck contest, Toa. And no one's gone up here for the Eagles. He taps it straight to an opponent. And kick falls just outside 50. Simpson trying to handle here for the Eagles. Wrapped up in a tackle. Ball held in. Braxton Ahmat did really well there to hold the footy in. And the ball up is called by the umpire right on the paint of 50 where it meets the boundary line.
Number of times now, Wanderers not just having anyone in the ruck. So this will be interesting. Toa going up against Priest, who's had to run a long way. So it was O'Connell who outnumbered, but it's St Mary's going through the middle. Kick by Gallus and a great take from Klusky. He takes off in the middle of the oval, takes a bounce, looks up. Ugly kick, ugly kick off the boot, and that's kicked straight. One bounce into the behind post, and that's going to be
probably not a bad result there for St Mary's, as opposed to going through from behind and giving the opposition possession back. Now they've got a 50-50 chance to win it from a stop play.
Sure, he'd have it back though if he could. That was it was the best possible option. Looked good with the bounce.
Didn't drop it all that well, and then the wind took it. We've seen a few kicks like that, so conditions difficult here this afternoon. Calder in the ruck contest, beaten forward there by Mitchell Taylor. Straight towards the boundary line, Shannon Rioli in pursuit. But the boundary wins, left forward pocket. Again, another boundary throw-in. Saints another opportunity.
Just on that, Dom, it's not a typical ground that both of these sides play a lot of football on. Tracy Village Oval here, there's a Division 1 sort of club that base themselves out of here. So Wanderers and Saints playing here and close to the the coast, and maybe that sea breeze and the different sponge level in the grass.
And Joel Morrison has just had, I think he's wanting a new ball.
Yep, an issue here with the footy. Now, nice talk too from Joel Morrison as he kicks it towards the boundary. I'm not sure how he knew there was a problem with the ball, given that he didn't have hands on the footy there.
No, the boundary umpire
called it.
Yep, called it, went over to him.
So a few rotations here for the Eagles. So trying to change a footy. Let's see how long this might take. We are 13.5 minutes through this first quarter here, and the score 1-1-7 at the Eagles, 1-2-8 St Mary's. So only a point in it midway through.
So the match manager just has to go and get a footy. So we're not moving too quickly here. Find a footy. It looks like it's gone a bit flat. So
spares behind the goals that they could use.
Yeah.
No.
One would have thought so.
Well,
Brenton?
no, but last time Brenton Motlop had to go and get a couple in the bush.
Yeah.
So they haven't thought of that.
Oh, well, there's a footy.
Another one down at the other end.
There's a footy in the hands of the umpires now.
So
umpire showing off their kicking skills. Thomas Motlop with ball in hand, and we'll come back to our boundary throw in here at left forward pocket.
14.5 minutes gone and only 1 point in it. St Mary's lead by 1 point after Wanderers were first to get on the board. Joel Morrison's happy with the substitute ball. Calder's in the ruck. He's going to go up against Nicky. Calder wins it down, going away from their goals, though, and it's picked up by Jones Cabillo. Ball out on the outer. Beautiful chest mark from Marcus Totham. He decides to take it on, going up to the right forward pocket, looking for Priest, and great defensive work there from Wilkinson. He's been busy, Wilkinson, early for St Mary's, and the ball's got to be tossed up 60 metres around from Wanderers' goals.
He has been. He was involved in a bit of a contest there, and, you know, he's got a tough opponent to work on. He's been knocked around a little bit, but one thing you can say about Wilkinson is you know that he's going to give you everything. He might not have the talent that other guys have got, but he certainly makes up for it with his effort.
From the ruck contest now, Preedy's tried to take the footy away, but stolen from Bo O'Connell. Kick up towards Thomas Motlop, chipping in Joseph Salmon. He's a quick player, former Eagles player too. His handball poor, cut off by Bo O'Connell, taken out of the contest and out over the boundary line. Just to the left of our commentary position, left half forward here for the Eagles. So again, another opportunity for them to go into attack. Just setting themselves here, Toa up against Nicky in the ruck. Toa the bigger of the two. So Jake Toa. Caleb Nicky. Good boundary throw in it is too. Nice and high. Toa gets the fist on it. Jerome Motlop first there. Yaron tries to take possession. Taken by Hildebrand. Handball sideways to Labastida. Clears a number of players. Eagles take possession. Jones Cabillo with the outside of the right boot. Can he find a teammate? He can't. Henry Labastida was the one who kept his eye on the footy and took the mark at right centre wing.
Labastida right in front of us in the commentary. Umpire tells him to play on. Just held it up. He's looking for Smith, the ruckman, but in front is the Wanderers players, and Cabillo is going to get the handball away. Nice handball into the middle of the park. Piercing kick finds Thomas Motlop. He takes off in the middle of the park. Nice high up and under. Great chest mark from Priest. He kept running as well. Umpires told him to play on. He's on the attacking side of the centre square. Huge kick up to the top of the square. St Mary's have numbers. It's punched forward. But it's going to be Totham, Marcus Totham, having a shot on goal, 40 metres out, trying to bend it back, and it's just hit the post. So exciting work there from Wanderers. Hits the post, and it now is 8-all, 17 and a half minutes gone, opening term.
Quick kick in from Jacob Long, cut off here by Mitchell Taylor, just outside 50. His kick was a good one, and a mark paid, perhaps a tad dubious. Daniel Clee. High was the call. Clee finds Erlinson. Erlinson from just outside 50. Down towards the goal square. Simpson, an opportunity to take the mark, and a free kick is paid for the hold. So Eddie Simpson, the big man, he is causing problems down there. He has already kicked one goal. And Matt Wilkinson not happy with the call, but never seen a fullback that is, Brenton. Really?
No, Wilkinson and Matt down there, and I think just Simpson's size a worry for the St Mary's defenders.
Absolutely. Big, tall man is Eddie Simpson, number 33 on the back. He's lining up for the banana kick, 45-degree angle here, only about 25 metres out. Amazing that he won't just have the straight shot on goal. He's gone for the snap straight through the middle. He's kicked his second, and he's kicked the Eagles' second for this first quarter. 18 and a half minutes gone. 2-2-14 the Eagles. St Mary's 1-2-8.
Yeah, again, just down this end, just the quick entry going back in there. Simpson probably wasn't going to mark the football, but the St Mary's defenders there just panicking perhaps on that occasion, reaching over the top, gave away the free kick. Well, I've talked about his size. He's a big unit, but he's very skillful there, as we saw on that occasion. Probably could have just kicked the drop punt, but I guess these days now, you know, most players might think it's easier to kick that snap around the corner. So good goal there by Simpson.
Well, he was on the mark, and so he actually took 2 steps back to take that banana before he went on. So that's, in effect, his play on. He's gone off the mark. So he's done quite well there to be able to leisurely do that. Up back in the ruck is Smith, back on for St Mary's. He gets a tap down. Totham gets a handball out for Wanderers, only as far as Taylor. Taylor goes to the left forward pocket. St Mary's scrappling hard now as Marcus Totham now turns it over for Wanderers. He gets it to McLean. McLean goes into the forward 50, but they have all the numbers, St Mary's, and it's going to be cleared by Matt. Looks like Matt and Wilkinson doing a double team on Simpson at the moment as it goes to the outer side.
Thomas Motlop cutting the footy off really nicely. Goes to his captain and McLean. The 1-2 with Motlop. Lovely little kick he's putting up there. And the mark taken inside 50 here for the Eagles. Sebastian Priest, I think it is. It is the big ruckman. He's playing some sort of first quarter here, Sebastian Priest, doing very well in the ruck and moving around the ground beautifully. Taking this mark left of centre. No real angle to speak of. Will kick from 45 metres out. Just slightly left of centre. 20 minutes gone. An important kick here for Sebastian Priest. On its way, it starts well right. He'd be lucky to have scored a point. He has just snuck in for the minor. So Wanderers, they move on to 2-3-15, leading St Mary's by 7 points. Saints are on 1-2-8.
Jacob Long with the kick-in duties. He decides to take off, takes about 5 metres, goes to the outer wing, looking for a free player. Dropped the mark he should have taken was Robinson. He regathers. Now St Mary's are still on the outer wing. Number of free players for St Mary's as they continue to go down, looking for Calder in the left forward pocket. Calder was stuck behind. Motlop gets a big up and under. Doesn't travel too far, about 10 metres. And the umpire, Joel Morrison's going to say it's mine. Out on the left forward pocket for St Mary's.
It's a ruck contest now. Simply taken out of the ruck by the Eagles player there, and incorrectly so, said the umpire. So a free kick immediately to Nate Paredes. He plays on, looking for the lead, of course, of Calder. Goes straight over his head, and all by himself, I think it's Klusky at the back, has just taken the mark. 15 metres out on a 45-degree angle, left of centre. He's just standing there by himself.
Where's his opposition?
Yeah, I'm not sure if
where did he come from?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he read it better or it was just by default that the kick had a bit of extra penetration and he was just right spot, right time.
Johnny on the spot. So, an important kick. St Mary's trailing here by 7 points. Kick on goal does not trouble the goal umpire at all. Straight through the middle. So, St Mary's have their second goal. And again, 1 point is the difference. 22 minutes gone in this first quarter. 2-3-15 the Eagles, 2-2-14 St Mary's.
Absolutely, Dominic. The scoreboard tells the story. Only 1 point in it. Neither team here really being able to break the game open. It's been pretty close sort of tussle so far. Neither side able to sort of get on top through the midfield. You know, the forwards at either end have been okay, but the defence are holding up. Armat down one end and Newman down the other. But it's kind of just you either win it or you don't in the midfield. There's very little break-evens and repeat stoppages.
Smith is going to go up against Priest. Simpson is in the middle for St Mary's with the long sleeves on. Can't miss him. Been marked by Erlinson. Warm afternoon here, late in the opening term. 1 point in it. Wanderers 15 leading St Mary's 14. It's been a great battle. And the umpire is just going to call a free kick.
I think a St Mary's player left the 50 before it was bounced up.
So just getting explained.
Confusion here as to which way the free kick's going.
It's going to be a free kick, yes, going to Wanderers.
Yep.
Correctly so.
So Priest, free kick right in the middle of Tracy Village. He just takes off. He knows he's got speed around Smith. He takes a bounce, 70 metres from goal. Booming kick up to full forward. And it's going to be a free kick against Jacob Long. Jacob Long was running back with the flight of the ball. And the umpire said that he has infringed because he didn't have eyes for the ball. It's going to be a free kick going towards Fuller. So Fuller is going to have one of the easiest shots on goal. He's got a longer run-up than he's actually got to kick it. So he's got about a 20-metre run-up.
Be careful.
And the opposition player on the mark is at the top of the goal square. So Fuller comes in and he just drops it over. It's an ugly kick, but it floats through. And Fuller is going to pick up the third goal for Wanderers this afternoon. It's 3-3. 21 and St Mary's 2-2-14. 24 minutes gone in the opening term and a hot afternoon in Darwin.
Wasn't pretty, but pretty effective. But that started with Sebastian Priest. Well, actually, it started with a St Mary's forward line player leaving the 50, resulting in a free kick at the centre bounce. But then Sebastian Priest, he just had a look at Ryan Smith on the mark and said, "Yep, I reckon I'm going to take you on," and he did that. And he ran and he took a bounce. He chewed up his space, and we've seen that a couple of times today. That kick that goes goes out the back and turns the defence inside out, has really put the opposition under pressure. So great work by Joby Priest. Fuller, position A, got a free kick and managed to get that ball on his boot through those two big sticks somehow.
Just. Ryan Smith up high, beaten forward by Joe Bastian Priest. Ball comes down to Labastida, couldn't get a kick away. Smith does off the left boot, straight into the waiting arms of Mitchell Taylor, the excellent centre-half back for the Eagles. Squares it out wide, it's very wide. Looking for Daniel Wheatra, will he get it before the boundary? Not quite. Under pressure out there from Sean Foster. And again, right centre wing, or far centre wing, I should say. Daniel Wheatra on the chase, but it'd be another boundary throw in.
I like that, because that switch, Daniel Wheatra had to run 40, 50 metres to try and get on the end of it. And I think that's what they've got to do, the Wanderers defence. Take their risk, try and open up the play and get some free footy down the outside.
So right in the middle of the outer wing, Priest goes in front of Smith. Ball down on the ground. Desperate work for St Mary's. Ball over the top, and a huge tackle. Labastida is wrapped up. And the umpire said, I'm going to take it. So Labastida, and I think that's the siren. Those two little hoots. If you were talking, you might have missed it. So that's the siren here at quarter time. And that has been an eventful quarter as well. A lot of the Wanderers players high fives. St Mary's are jogging in together in the middle of the park. That is a long quarter, as 5 goals have been kicked, number of behinds. And at quarter time, Dom, what a great quarter of footy. It is Wanderers 3-3-21 leading St Mary's 2-2-14 on the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts. And it has been a very, very fast and furious, warm start to this match.
Has indeed. SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse here this afternoon at Tracy Village Oval. We'll come back to you shortly with our thoughts on the first quarter.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
If there's one thing you can be certain of these days, it's that at Chemist Warehouse, your health is our top priority, which is why we're now a COVID-19 vaccination provider. To check your eligibility, scan the QR code in-store or visit our website, chemistwarehouse.com.au/COVID. Then simply book your appointment and we'll see you in store on the day of your vaccination. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
The Sounding Board with Craig Hutchison and Damien Barrett. It's sport, it's the media, it's talking about the issues that matter.
Because you tried to knock his door down at the beat, is that what happened, or not?
No, I just didn't know the protocols really,
or cared for them.
Or probably cared for them, I guess. Yeah. I didn't know there was an old view of the Sheffield Shield writer. No one else can write about the Shield. I thought a story's a story, right? You had a story, you go for it. And then if someone went away for 2 weeks, I just always saw that as an opportunity to write about their patch because they were away. So they'd come back and he'd written 5 stories and left a bit of debris in their backyard.
Debris in there.
And looking back, I can understand why they had some issues. Like Peter DeZero went away for a month. Okay, I'll write some soccer.
Peter DeZero.
No, Pete went away for a month and he came back and I set up a Super League war in soccer. I understand he wrote ball. I had a breakaway league. He spent all this time cultivating these magnificent relationships, done a great job, and he came back and I had the sport at war with each other every day in the paper.
The Sounding Board podcast with Hutchie and Damo. Thanks to Drinkwise. If you're choosing to have a drink, choose to drink wise.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Your local bowls club is seeking competitive teams. You'll need your natural, whose sporting prowess is unmatched. Your technician to roll you in and out of the tightest spots. Your thinker to lead your game plan. Your enforcer to strike when needed. And Steve, he can get the drinks. Local legends wanted. Search Bowls Club near me to join a team or start one.
Whatever journey you're on, a road trip with mates or family adventure, Tyre Power has you covered during their big holiday sale on now. Your #1 destination on Google Maps for safety, Tyre Power is ready to help you plan that next driving holiday. During the big holiday sale on now, buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon passenger tyres. So, before you hit the road, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. Go and see Paul Hassett and the team at Alice City Tyre Power on Whitaker Street.
There is nothing like a crown of picking it up and putting it down.
And there's nothing like a local branch with local people to understand and service your needs. For forklift sales, rentals and service, Crown's Darwin branch has highly trained and experienced local people ready to look after you. And because they're local, they're never far from where you are. Give them a call on 131 604. Check them out at crown.com or call in to 4 at Nick DeMartis Road, Berrima. Crown Forklifts Darwin. Locals helping locals.
Being at the greatest events on the sporting calendar is what makes sport fans tick. And to witness the biggest sporting moments in Australia, Ballpark Entertainment can get you there. AFL, NRL, horse racing, soccer, basketball, cricket, boutique events and more. Ticketing, corporate suites and money can't buy experiences. Get the best access to the best sporting events with Ballpark Entertainment. Making memories. ballparkentertainment.com.au.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Back to SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse, always here for you. Wanderers in the lead as the players are in position for the commencement of this second quarter. Wanderers lead by 7 points. Ball held aloft. And the second quarter siren sounds. Ball tossed high in the air. Ryan Smith against Sebastian Priest. One down by Smith. Over the footy, Bo O'Connell can't quite get hold of it. Yaron tries to tap it forward. Thomas Motlop in there, got a handball away, only as far as Lockie Taylor. He got a good kick away through half forward. Mitchell Taylor on the chase for the Eagles. Belts it forward, 30 metres was terrific. Unfortunately for the Eagles, picked up by Paredes. Salmon up high at centre half forward. That's a good mark by the young man. Right on the paint of 50 is the man on the mark. And he's taken the mark, and the captain for St Mary's has taken the footy out of the hands of Salmon, who must have told him it's no good. And the umpire has kicked it to the boundary, umpire, and we're immediately into a change of footy. Brenton, I've never seen this.
I did see them bring a ball back out, so potentially that's the one that was flat. Say. Maybe they've just gone and pumped it up and it's gone flat.
It's gone flat straight away. So Joseph Salmon, an excellent mark there at centre half forward. He's given a replacement footy already, so time back on here. He runs around the man on the mark, runs around, tries to run around a second, which was Bo O'Connell, and Bo O'Connell had him absolutely nailed. Ended up with his Guernsey up around his head. So well done, Bo O'Connell. Read that magnificently. Chips to left half back and finds Thomas Motlop. Called to play on immediately. Goes in the middle of the ground. Ball punched away from McLean. Handball comes to Salmon. Handball to Shannon Rioli. Can't take him in a tackle. The hips swivel was magnificent. Handball to Paredes. Kick on goal is errant, but a mark taken just inside the boundary. No, it's not. Boundary umpire's call is out of bounds on the full. So the free kick to go to Brenton Motlop for the Eagles. Discussion happening there between the umpires, but that is the call. Brenton Motlop with the free kick from left back pocket.
So Brenton Motlop, he's going to go down the wing, booming left foot. That's gone a good 60 metres. Mark could have been taken there from Foster for St Mary's. Yaron has it. He handballs off to the captain, Paredes. He goes back to the left forward pocket and finds Calder right in the shade of the trees. And Brenton Motlop didn't have too much time to get back on the field after kicking that out. Quick entry back in, and St Mary's through Calder are going to have a shot on goal and try and get this margin back to 1 point. Calder standing on the paint of 50, 45-degree angle. Kicked one in the first. Calder runs in, and he's kicked his second for the afternoon. He lets Brenton Motlop know about it as well. High five from a number of players, and he heads back to full forward. And more importantly, that narrows the gap for St Mary's. It's still Wanderers 21 leading St Mary's 20. 2.5 minutes gone, second term.
Yeah, you're right, Shane. Just that repeat entry. Wanderers just struggling to deal with that. Brenton Motlop kicked the football out. It made it to half back. St Mary's were able to win the football back and send it back in again. Calder, he's got the reach advantage on Motlop. He had position A in front. That was a great kick to space there. But the one thing I liked about Calder's kick is he kicks it with purpose. He didn't try and just sort of nurse it through the goals. He went back and he had deliberate intent, punched it through nice and hard. Great work, St. Mary's.
SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse. The ball back in the middle. A one-point ball game here, early stages of the second quarter. Sebastian Priest went high and early. Eventually got a tap down. Ryan Smith left lying on the ground. Ball at centre-half forward for the Eagles. Handball from St. Mary's goes straight back to Bo O'Connell. Big torpedo. Back towards the goal square. Braxton Armat with ball in hand was taken high and got a free kick. He'd already passed the ball off to a teammate in Jacob Long, but he goes back and takes that free. So Eddie Simpson had wrapped him up. Braxton Armat goes out wide, looking out there for Gallus. The kick only just reached him. So Gallus, right back pocket, looking to steady here, being told to go long down the outer wing. Target out there, Ryan Smith. Can't grab hold of it. Hildebrandt was there. Handball comes back to Ryan Smith. Just can't get hold of the footy. Erlinson can. His handball up through half forward. Picked off by St. Mary's. Handball up towards Yaron. Yaron through the middle. Little kick goes to Klusky right in the centre of the ground. Called to play on as Shannon Rioli ran through the mark. Klusky now looking up towards Calder. On the lead. Got hands to it. Couldn't quite pick it up. He and Shannon Rioli spoil each other. Calder taps it out towards Rioli. Picked up by Brenton Motlop. Kick towards the boundary. Sebastian Priest on the chase, can't quite get there, and the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in. The Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre experts. Wanderers in the lead, 3-3-21. Lead St. Mary's 3-2-20.
As it just passes 4:30 here, local time in Darwin. Feels like 37 degrees. The two ruckmen will be looking in directly into the sun. Ball tossed up. Priest wasn't even ready, so St. Mary's get the tap down. Running through and trying to get a handball away was Gallagher, only as far as a Wanderers player who kicks it down the boundary line in front of the commentary wing. Clee took a mark, dropped a mark he should have taken, but he backed up well, and he might get a push in the back, but he doesn't. Clee gets up off the ground, and he apologises for that drop mark, and under the bottom of him is Holner from St. Mary's. As Joel Morrison, the umpire, just clears away behind him. Toa gets a tap down for St. Mary's in favour of Paredes, the captain. He gets a hurried kick into the middle of the park. Coming through was Taylor from Wanderers, wasn't able to pick it up. Now the ball comes out. The crowd asking for a throw. Thomas Motlop picks up a ball off the ground, gets a hurried kick up and under into the middle of the park, and that's got to be 50. That has got to be 50. Undisciplined work there from Fuller. And the mark was taken, and Fuller has just hit it out of his hands, but there's going to be a free kick in back play, and it's going to go against Calder.
I think it's a blood rule.
No, it's a blood rule. It's a blood rule being called. So Jackson Calder to come from the ground with the blood rule. Looks like something on his right arm.
Elbow, yeah. And Brenton Motlop's just checking he doesn't have blood on him. But this 50 is going to mean Thomas Motlop will stand the mark, 48 metres directly in front of goal, after Fuller was very, very undisciplined. Blood rule, so we haven't had time to play on. So play hadn't been called on.
You've got to wait for the replacement player to actually
so
take the spot of the player coming off.
Yep.
So now, Lachlan Taylor for St. Mary's goes in on the 50 directly in front, and Joel Morrison is going to say Thomas Motlop has moved off the mark. It's all happening down here. And as Joel Morrison, I was watching the umpire going to take another 50 metres. Taylor's actually kicked that 50 metres and gone straight through for a goal, so they don't need to. That was a messy bit of play there.
I think the Wanderers' defence, Brenton, took their eyes off the footy after it had landed and it bounced through for a goal.
Yeah, it was almost
because they heard the whistle.
The whistle had blown, but the kick had gone already.
That's right, and they all stopped.
And it just cleared the line. Yeah, just went over the line. Yeah, people sort of
so
waiting.
What it does mean, though, Lachlan Taylor having a shot from 50, it bounces through, and that puts them in front by 5 points.
Does indeed.
So 4-2-26 to Wanderers 3-3-21. 7.5 minutes gone after that confusion. Calder's off with a blood rule. There was 2 50s. Lachlan Taylor booted it for St. Mary's, and it was just dribbling through, and they've got them now in front.
So Toa from the ruck contest wins it down to Yaron. Yaron, quick kick into midfield, taken by Salmon. Feigns the handball, now kicks long inside forward 50, up into the right forward pocket. Newman there, taken in a big tackle. Ball held in. How will the umpire see it? He says, I will have it. 30 metres around from the St Mary's goal. Yes, a 5-point lead on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Kicking goals with Falcon Tyres, 4-2, 26 to 3-3, 21. The ball tossed high in that forward pocket. One down by Toa. Mitchell Taylor in there, laying a tackle. Good one it is too. Ball still bobbling around. Mitchell Taylor still laying his tackle, and it slipped high, and he's now taken his opponent in Nick Yarran high in the tackle. In fact, it's Toa, and Toa to take the free kick. 25 metres out, very close to the boundary line, right forward pocket. Just a little bit too eager there, Brenton, in that tackle, I think.
Yeah, just a bit overzealous there, the Wanderers players, but they're all going, giving it their all.
So Toa, the ruckman, deep in the right forward pocket, shaded by the trees somewhat. Kick on its way, low trajectory drop punt, drills that straight at goal and kicks a behind. Lots of advice coming from the crowd here this afternoon. 4-3-27 St Mary's to 3-3-21 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Australia's biggest independent retailer. 9 minutes gone. St Mary's now in the lead by one straight goal.
So a lot of changes in the lead here. Enthralling game, 3v4. You wouldn't expect anything else. Wanderers sit in third. They're looking for their 5th win in a row. Ball in the left back pocket through Taylor. He just chips it over to Brenton Motlop. Brenton Motlop goes for a quick run, goes down the outer wing. Great mark taken by Dunn. Goes into a handball to Thomas Motlop. He goes further down, finds Priest. Handball now over. Little chip into forward 50, and that's going to be a free kick against Wilkinson. And there's going to be an unmarked, ugly kick over the top of Fuller, who was free. Marcus Tottenham in the right forward pocket picks it up, tries to chip it further afield, and that chip has gone off the side of the boot and it's gone out in the full, and that will be an opportunity for St Mary's to regather, and they're going to kick it in the left back pocket. They're going to bring it in 10 metres around from Wanderers' goal.
Well, a golden opportunity destroyed there by the Eagles. Just did not use the ball well. Jacob Long now with ball in hand in the left back pocket. Stays on that same side, kicks long, and a free kick paid. It will be as a push too. It'll go to Brodie Newman for the Eagles. Good player, Brodie Newman. He's pushed up here from centre half back, finds himself at right half forward, drilling the ball inside 50, and that's a great mark in the pack. Eddie Simpson, too tall, too strong. Those arms just way too long. Takes the mark to the right of centre and should go back and have a crack at his 3rd goal. He's kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. His first opportunity now in the early stages of this second quarter. 10.5 minutes gone. They trail by a goal on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Can he, in fact, even the scores up as we see Sean Foster come from the ground for St Mary's? Replaced there by Henry Lavastida. It's Eddie Simpson. 2 in the first. Kick on its way. Starts at left. Swinging back. And through for a behind. So another point on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Kicking goals with Falcon Tyres. 3-4-22 to 4-3-27. 11 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Hope you're enjoying the call. SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. Shannon Byrne, Dominic McCormack and Brenton Toy. As Jacob Long kicks it out to the right to Gallus. Gallus takes it in the right back pocket. Just holds it up. He decides to go down the wing. In front, looking for Toa. Ball down on the ground. Good tackle laid. Wanderers now looking to go inside. Quick number of handballs. Jerome Motlop dropped down. Jerome Motlop's back in there. He's on all fours, tries to get a handball out. Umpire's going to say that Jerome Motlop was pushed in the back. So on the outer wing, he's going to kick it into the left forward pocket.
McLean.
Took a juggling mark there. McLean nearly went over his head, but he had to extend as far as he could. Within his range, Brenton?
Yeah, absolutely. Good finisher, Braden. He's a good user. He's generally a good field kicker around the ground, both on his left and right. Highly skilled individual.
Huge run up. He's going to have to kick it 50 metres. He's probably gone back a good 40 metres. Just twirls the ball around. McLean with the colourful boots on. Kicks it. 45-degree angle, and they like it behind the goals. And McLean has picked up the 4 for Wanderers this afternoon. And that means that they're now back in front by 1 point. So it's Wanderers 4-4-28 leading St Mary's 4-3-27, and that's their first goal of the second quarter, and it's taken them nearly 13 minutes to get the first goal for Wanderers, but more importantly, they're back in front by a point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, you know, just in the last 5 minutes, we've seen some really good examples of some poor decisions and poor ball use. I think the team, this probably goes without saying, the team that makes good decisions and uses it better, preferably longer on a day like today, and gets it in quick to their forward line, are going to have a better chance at scoring.
So the ruck set up again. Toa up in ruck against Nicky. Toa, the bigger man, wins that contest, and a free kick given here in the middle will be going to St Mary's. So Paredes, and a 50-metre penalty. Brenton, explain that one to me.
I think Erlandson touched the umpire, and then he probably said something.
So Paredes it was who had the footy, taken the 50 metres, chips as he arrived inside 50 immediately, and finds an unmarked Joseph Salmon, Brenton, inside 50.
Yeah, again, I just think the Wanderers players just not switched on, weren't focused. They were too busy worrying about the decision. Salmon was just standing unattended, 35 out from goal.
So 35 metres out, left of centre, no real angle to speak of. Joseph Salmon. Can he get the quick reply? Kick on its way, and he's kicked that straight through the middle as Joseph Salmon, so he's kicked his first for the afternoon. St Mary's, they kicked their fifth, and for the Tyre Power scoreboard, kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check. St Mary's move on to 5-3-33. Wanderers 4-4, 28 of the 14.5-minute mark.
Just going to have to be very careful, both teams, with their discipline here today. We can't afford free kicks in the beginning, let alone 50s that are going to put you in goal range. And I think that's the second or third 50 that we've seen today that's put somebody into goal kicking range. So both teams are going to have to be conscious of their discipline, especially when the margins, only 1 or 2 goals in it for the whole game.
So there's been 6 lead changes for this match, and we're only 15 minutes gone in the second quarter. Aaron Motlop, the rookie coach for Wanderers, up against Anthony Vallejo. He's been there for a number of years at St Mary's, but both have played against each other. Smith just taps it behind him, but it's been read better by Erlandson from Wanderers. He kicks it straight into the forward 50, looking for Fijo, but it's going to be cleared out by Gallus. Gallus goes to the outer side, and there's going to be 2 St Mary's on Taylor for St Mary's.
Good work there by Taylor. He had Deacon Braun hot on his hammer. Thomas Motlop was in the vicinity, so to get a boundary throw in out there, good result for St Mary's.
The ensuing ruck contest now, there's a bit of a mismatch here. Caleb Nicky up against Ryan Smith. Caleb Nicky well and truly the shorter man. Ryan Smith misses the footy, goes to the back. Wanderers have the numbers. Coming away with it nicely there was Ankin Lewis for the Eagles. On the left foot, scrubs a kick towards half forward. Taken now by the Saints defence. Jacob Long with ball in hand. A scrappy handball came from Tully Hemsley. Back to Jacob Long is fortunate. The high up and under. Standing underneath it was Paredes. Little push in the back came from Erlandson. Smith looking for the free kick, nothing doing. Erlandson up towards centre half forward. No mark taken there by Clee. Goes to Caleb Nicky. He's going to get run down here by Salmon, and he is. Salmon with the great chase. So the free kick to Joseph Salmon here at half back for the green and gold.
So Salmon just pushes it out wide to Labastida, who's in the left back pocket now. Salmon kept running as well, so Labastida can drop it back over to Salmon, but in the end, he had 2 players to pick from, and in the end it was Gallus who took a diving mark. Gallus goes back into the middle of the ground. They haven't made too much, but they have a lot of space at the moment, St Mary's. Yaron finds Salmon. They're on the defensive side of the commentary wing. Salmon has been told to play on, but there's going to be another 50. And that was Thomas
Motlop. He just crept to the side of the mark before the umpire had called play out. I know it's a difficult sort of rule to adjust to, but you did see him just creeping to the left. The umpire hadn't called play on, so not a lot in it, but by the letter of the law, free kick was there.
Second time that Thomas Motlop on the mark has given away a 50 just by moving. So Thomas Motlop on the mark, 48 metres inside St Mary's goal. Salmon goes for the left forward pocket, looking for Calder, who ended up on the ground, and it was a good punch away in the end from Wanderers' Daniel Wheatra. And it's going to be tossed in 5 metres around the left post in favour of St Mary's.
So the players looking to set themselves here. Ruck contest. Looks like Calder will go up against Clee. In fact, it's Daniel Fuller. Ball grabbed, kicked, taken by Calder out of the ruck contest. That's an absolutely magic goal. What a kick that was. Very, very confident. Kicked on goal, straight through the middle. Calder kicks his third. 1 in the first, 2 in this second quarter. So that scoreboard now for Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. St Mary's just beginning to sneak away here at the 18-minute mark. 6-3-39 to Wanderers 4-4-28.
Yeah, not sure who his direct opponent was meant to be there, but if he's going to be rucking in a contest against Brenton Motlop, Calder's probably going to win that 9 times out of 10. He just took that out of the ruck. There was plenty of traffic there. Every player was in the Wanderers' defensive half, so lots of players back there. Calder took it out of the ruck, snap on the right goal.
Smith up against Priest. Smith wins it down. Smith goes again, but the free kick's going to go to the man with the long sleeve, Tyson. Tyson in the middle of the park just hands it off to his captain in Paredes. Paredes goes for a little chip, tentative chip to the big ruckman in Smith. Smith on the outer side goes up to the right forward pocket. He was looking for Calder, but a good mark in the end from Taylor. And Taylor is going to see Wanderers out of trouble, and Tyson lucky not to give away 50 as Wanderers look to go through the middle of the park.
And nice kick coming there from Erlinson, finds Jerome Motlop. Handballs off immediately, goes to a teammate in Daniel Fuller. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. His kick errant. Nice mark taken there by Tully Hemsley. Under some pressure. His kick, however, was smothered. Luckily, it came back to him. Delivered by hand to Gallus. Gallus out wide to Jacob Long. On the far wing now. Inboard to Toa. Lots of space in the middle of the ground here for St Mary's. Toa goes on a run up through centre half forward and inside 50, but the mark read and taken beautifully by Brodie Newman.
Brodie Newman kicks quickly to the outer wing. This is back and forth stuff at the moment. 11-point lead to St Mary's, the longest lead that they've had all afternoon. Wanderers on the outer wing, and there's a lot of whistle this afternoon. There's 50-metre penalty, and they're going to be marching St Mary's. Jacob Long, the man that infringed. Simpson has the ball tucked under. He wanted to go back and take it, but it's not his free kick. So there has been 4 or 5 50 metres in this match. That's
just in this quarter.
This very, very undisciplined.
Keelan Fijo, I think it is.
So Fijo coming up to the 50. He likes the distance. He's got the distance, but there's going to be a mark right on the behind goal line. And Simpson, the man who just gave it back to Fijo, ran all the way to the goal square, and that is pretty undisciplined. St Mary's had 5 players to 1, but that height of Simpson has seen an easy mark right on the goal line. This is a tough shot on goal. He's going to walk around one step, and he has just slotted that through with a banana. High fives. And Simpson, with great hands, he's picked up his third for the afternoon. So it's a shootout between Calder and Simpson at the moment. The 2 full forwards not disappointing, coming in with great numbers. More importantly, it gets Wanderers back within 5 points on your Tyre Power scoreboard. Your trusted tyre experts, but it's still St Mary's slight lead, 39, leading Wanderers 34. 21 and a half minutes gone, second quarter.
Just again, that score launch coming from a turnover up on the wing, but again, another 50-metre penalty resulting in a goal for St Mary's. So, sorry, for Wanderers. But Simpson's height down there, I think Calder's height down one end, just stretching the defence down at both ends, causing headaches.
Genuine shootout, isn't it? 3 apiece.
SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse, coming to you this afternoon from Tracy Village Oval. The Eagles trailing at this stage, 5 points. Ruck contest, 1 down by Ryan Smith for St Mary's. Tyson coming through with the long sleeves. Erlinson picking up for Wanderers. Handball off to Bo O'Connell. Manages to get himself out of a tackle. Back to Erlinson. Good handball to Clee. Clee the high up and under through half forward. Players now in pursuit. Hemsley chasing hard, grabs hold of the footy, handballs back to Toa. Toa goes back to Hemsley. Good play by the St Mary's defence. Little kick into the middle of the ground taken by Tyson. Play on was the call. No mark. Handball out wide goes to Lockie Taylor, taken in a tackle, handballs backwards again, goes to Hemsley, now to Wilkinson, trying to get himself out of a tackle, goes backwards now to McMurtry. McMurtry close to the boundary line, almost taken out, Hemsley there again. Good pressure from the Eagles. Totham takes the footy, good kick, finds Jerome Motlop, should go long and does. Braxton Armat in front there of his opponent in Simpson. Simpson shoves him out of the way, no free kick given. Armat gets the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in, deep in the right forward pocket for the Eagles.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. That was the key there. The Wanderers' pressure just forced a turnover, forced these little handballs, you know, to players with opponents on them. JJ Motlop got it in, pumped it in. Not quite for Wanderers.
Boundary throw in there and a free kick given. This big fella is just worrying the St Mary's defence. Eddie Simpson takes the free kick from the ruck contest. Has an opportunity here to put the Eagles back in front and to kick his 4th goal of the afternoon. Right of centre, 45-degree angle, kicking from about 45 metres out. Eddie Simpson really causing havoc here. Close to half-time, 23.5 minutes gone. Kick on its way. That is an absolute beauty. Straight through the middle from Simpson. The players come to him. The crowd is happy. And the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted Tyre Power exports, sees the Eagles hit the lead by a point. 6-4-40, St Mary's 6-3-39.
Just Simpson's height there, just another factor and just a worrying sign for the St Mary's defenders. A bit like Calder down the other end in the ruck contest. I think they just gave away a free for a high or reached around him. But I like the way that he kicks the ball. He's got a bit of a left to right swing to it, but he knows how to manage it. It seems like every time he kicks it, it just starts left, but it always hits the target on its way back.
Kicked 2 in a row now, Wanderers, to get that gap back and to have that lead by 1 point. They were down by 11 points. As Joel Morrison now just calls time off and goes over and has a chat to Ryan Smith, the ruck for St Mary's. Checks that no one's behind him, tosses the ball up. Smith gets the knee into Priest. Smith falls over. Priest gets a tap forward. Going to the advantage, though, of St Mary's. Hildebrandt picked it up. Got a handball out to the outer wing, but it's all Wanderers with all the numbers. Lovely pick up by Elderson. It's now on the outer wing. Wanderers running in packs at the moment. Big kick into the right forward pocket. Bouncing ball, and it's going to go right over the boundary. And there was a number of players, 3 St Mary's players with 2 Wanderers. Jacob Long was there, and it beat everyone over, including Clee for Wanderers. And the ball's going to be tossed in 30 metres around from the Wanderers' right post.
Simpson up against Ryan Smith. Smith, the man in front, got the ball down to Tyson. Couldn't quite get a kick away, and another free kick given here. I thought Tyson was being held, but the free kick has gone here to the Eagles. It has. It's gone to Jerome Motlop. So Jerome Motlop, 45-degree angle. On the sound of the half-time hooter, Jerome Motlop with the number 4 on the back.
I think he was sort of half looking up for someone to give a handball off.
Well,
Mitchell Taylor was lurking. But
he's got no choice now.
Nope.
45-degree angle. We'll have to kick from about 45 to 50 metres out. A little bit hard to tell on our angle here. Needs to manage the breeze. Jerome Motlop. Can he kick this goal? Started left. Stays left. Will they keep it in play? The St Mary's defenders do. So the scoreboard here at half-time sees Wanderers in the lead. 6-4-40 to St Mary's, 6-3-39. Been an excellent first half of footy between the third-placed Eagles and the fourth-placed Saints. We'll be back with you after this.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
If there's one thing you can be certain of these days, it's that at Chemist Warehouse, your health is our top priority, which is why we're now a COVID-19 vaccination provider. To check your eligibility, scan the QR code in-store or visit our website, chemistwarehouse.com.au/COVID. Then simply book your appointment and we'll see you in store on the day of your vaccination. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Whatever journey you're on, a road trip with mates or family adventure, Tyre Power has you covered during their big holiday sale on now. Your #1 destination on Google Maps for safety, Tyre Power is ready to help you plan that next driving holiday. During the big holiday sale on now, buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon passenger tyres. So, before you hit the road, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. Go see Luke and Mitchell at Tyre Power Catherine on First Street.
Join Caroline Wilson and Corey Perkin for their weekly podcast, Don't Shoot the Messenger, filled with their insights into the latest news and a little sport, good local tips and plenty of recommendations on what they're reading, watching and whipping up in the kitchen.
He's a captain of the Australian cricket team. They made him captain knowing about these messages. When the new boss became the boss, he was told about this situation and did nothing. This is an organisation in disarray.
There are men there who thought that this behaviour was okay. No matter how long ago it happened, this behaviour is not okay. The reminder is that abuse comes in different forms though. Look, I really recommend Made. I think it's a crackerjack series.
Well, I'm not great, Corrie. I actually came down with COVID. It is worse than the flu.
You'll find the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on the SEN app or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas.
Remember this?
There is nothing like a crown for picking it up and putting it down.
And they're right. There is nothing like a Crown. For the best range of new second-hand and rental forklifts. For the best parts and service on all makes and models. And for unique and innovative technology. Guaranteed reliability and superior quality. Crown, the forklift experts. Check them out at crown.com or call 131 604. No risk, no worries.
Being at the greatest event on the sporting calendar is what makes sport fans tick. And to witness the biggest sporting moments in Australia, Ballpark Entertainment can get you there. AFL, NRL, horse racing, soccer, basketball, cricket, boutique events and more. Ticketing, corporate suites and money can't buy experiences. Get the best access to the best sporting events with Ballpark Entertainment. Making memories. BallparkEntertainment.com.au.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Your local bowls club is seeking competitive teams. You'll need your natural, whose sporting prowess is unmatched. Your technician to roll you in and out of the tightest spots. Your thinker to lead your game plan. Your enforcer to strike when needed. And Steve, he can get the drinks. Local legends wanted. Search Bowls Club near me to join a team or start one.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
So, Simpson is going to have to hit it on 50. No breeze to speak of. Matt is on the mark. He's got it. He's got the distance and he's got that no worry straight through the middle. Fuller comes in and he just drops it over. It's an ugly kick, but it floats through and Fuller is going to pick up the third goal for Wanderers this afternoon. It's 3-3-21 and St Mary's 2-2-14. Calder standing on the paint of 50, 45-degree angle. Kicked one in the first. Calder runs in and he's kicked his second for the afternoon with the colourful boots on. Kicks it, 45-degree angle and they like it behind the goals. And McLean has picked up the fourth for Wanderers this afternoon.
Joseph Salmon, can he get the quick reply? Kick on its way, and he's kicked that straight through the middle as Joseph Salmon, so he's kicked his first for the afternoon. St Mary's, they kicked their fifth, taken by Calder out of the ruck contest. That's an absolutely magic goal. What a kick that was. very, very confident, kicked on goal, straight through the middle. Calder kicks his third.
And Simpson, with great hands, has picked up his third for the afternoon. So it's a shootout between Calder and Simpson at the moment. The two full forwards, not disappointing, coming in with great numbers. More importantly, it gets Wanderers back within 5 points.
Eddie Simpson really causing havoc here. Close to half-time, 23 and a half minutes gone. Kick on its way. That is an absolute beauty. Straight through the middle from Simpson. The players come to him. The crowd is happy. So the scoreboard here at half-time sees Wanderers in the lead. 6-4-40 to St Mary's, 6-3-39. Been an excellent first half of footy between the third-placed Eagles and the fourth-placed Saints. Welcome back to SEN Top-End Footy for Chemist Warehouse. Always here for you. Terrific match here, as you can hear from those highlights. A great game between the third-placed Eagles and the fourth-placed St Mary's. There's a lot on the line here. Whoever can win takes third spot in a ladder that's just tightening up nicely at the top, with the Nightcliff Tigers being defeated yesterday by Southern Districts. How have you seen the game so far, Brenton? Yeah, I think the scoreboard absolutely tells the story. Both sides, neither one of them being able to really assert themselves and break the game open. For mine, I think Brodie Newman down back for the Wanderers Eagles, he's been outstanding. Just his typical self, those intercept marks, but he's also a great user, a great decision maker when he's got the football in his hands. Big Eddie Simpson down the other end of the ground, he's caused a few headaches for the St Mary's defence. Just his pure size and his ability to get his body into the right position, but he does kick his goals when he gets his chances. Joe Bastian Priest, I thought his first half has been pretty good and around the ground, but you'll see, towards the end there, I was just watching, Priest is starting to tire. Ryan Smith, his opponent, doesn't get any shorter as the game goes on, so that's been an intriguing matchup. Nate Paredes for St Mary's probably hasn't had too much of the footy, and I don't think that Wanderers are running a hard tag, but they've certainly done their homework. So wherever Paredes is if there's an opponent around him that hasn't got someone always goes to him. So they've really been able to limit Nate Paredes' influence. So, but for St Mary's, Lockie Taylor, he's being, racking up a few possessions out on that far side wing. Joey Salmon, he's been pretty good and looks dangerous at times, but hasn't really been able to convert on the scoreboard. And big Jacko Calder, the champ, both forwards down either end, just their height stretching the defence has caused headaches for the opposition. And you talk about that. Those two forwards, Edward Simpson, of course, he's kicked 4, 2 in the first quarter and 2 in the second. Jackson Calder, 3 goals, 1 in the first and 2 in the second. The other goal kickers for the match for the Eagles, Braden McLean, their captain, has a goal, and Daniel Fuller also has a goal for St Mary's. All singles to Lockie Taylor, Joseph Salmon and Jack Kluski. Shannon, how do you see things going? Well, we've had 7 lead changes in that first half, so if that's anything to go by, we're in for a cracking second half. What I liked about Wanderers, though, they were 11 points down. It was around the 20-minute mark of that second term. Something just clicked, and the amount of pressure that they put on just in front of us, their last 2 goals were put on from pressure within the midfield, and it was rebounded straight back in. So for Wanderers to be 1 goal up, they were 11 points down, and that's when it's those crucial times when you think if they don't get the next goal, St Mary's could run away with it. Not only did they get the next goal, they got the next 2, the next 3, and now they're a point in front. So to come in at half-time, a point up, that's just been a remarkable sort of 10 minutes of footy for Wanderers. Sorry, Dom, they were a very different team in that last 5 minutes there, and Shannon mentioned it in the call. They were running in packs. To me, they were hunting in packs, and it was pressure, forced a turnover. So they really finished off with a whole lot more run. Time now to just take a little break, and we'll be back with you shortly with the second half.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you. Whatever journey you're on, a road trip with mates or family adventure, Tyre Power has you covered during their big holiday sale on now. Your #1 destination on Google Maps for safety, Tyre Power is ready to help you plan that next driving holiday. During the big holiday sale on now, buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon passenger tyres. So, before you hit the road, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. Go and see Bob and Ernie at Null & Boy Tyre Power in Miller Close.
If there's There's one thing you can be certain of these days. It's that at Chemist Warehouse, your health is our top priority, which is why we're now a COVID-19 vaccination provider. To check your eligibility, scan the QR code in-store or visit our website, chemistwarehouse.com.au/COVID. Then simply book your appointment and we'll see you in store on the day of your vaccination. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
The Sounding Board with Craig Hutchison and Damien Barrett. It's sport, it's the media, it's talking about the issues that matter.
Hutchie, I want to start today by giving some of my sympathy and support for a man who's been under siege in the past few days. Sunrise Weekend host, Matt Doran. I, like Matt Doran, could think of 423,626 things I'd rather do than listen to an Adele album. He's copying it, Hutchie, for not listening to it. Adele realised he hadn't listened to the album, which she's promoting and releasing. Asked him, had he? And he said no.
And the missed the email defence, how do you think that flew? Like, that was...
Oh, it was plausible.
But he's got to have a laugh at himself now. The only way out of this is to double down on mocking yourself for a good year, and people will move on. By January, it'll be endearing if he plays it well. I'll be doing things like, I don't know, when you ring the boss next, you got to say, hello, it's me. You know, you just got to lean in on the humour side of your mucker. If you try and make it go away, no one's going to give you another chance.
The Sounding Board podcast with Hutchie and Damo. Thanks to Drinkwise. If you're choosing to have a drink, choose to drink wise.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
There is nothing like a crown. Picking it up and putting it down.
And there's nothing like a local branch with local people to understand and service your needs. For forklift sales, rentals and service, Crown's Darwin branch has highly trained and experienced local people ready to look after you. And because they're local, they're never far from where you are. Give them a call on 131 604. Check them out at crown.com or call in to 4 at Nick DeMartis Road, Berrima. Crown Forklifts Darwin. Locals helping locals.
Being at the greatest events on the sporting calendar is what makes sport fans tick. And to witness the biggest sporting moments in Australia, Ballpark Entertainment can get you there. AFL, NRL, horse racing, soccer, basketball, cricket, boutique events and more. Ticketing, corporate suites and money can't buy experiences. Get the best access to the best sporting events with Ballpark Entertainment. Making memories. ballparkentertainment.com.au.
Your local bowls club is seeking competitive teams. You'll need your natural, whose sporting prowess is unmatched. Your technician to roll you in and out of the tightest spots. Your thinker to lead your game plan. Your enforcer to strike when needed. And Steve, he can get the drinks. Local legends wanted. Search Bowls Club near me to join a team or start one.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Welcome back to SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse, always here for you. Players back on the ground here for both St Mary's and Wanderers. 1 point ball game here at Tracy Village Oval. Continues to be a warm afternoon, but a great game of footy. Both teams hard at it. Third spot up for grabs. 6-4-40. The Eagles leading St Mary's 6-3-39. Brenton, what sort of changes can you expect coming into this second half? You've talked about the ruckman not getting any shorter.
Yep.
What do you think that is going to lead to as this game draws on?
Yeah, I don't think either side are going to panic here. I reckon both teams are going to stick to their systems. I think Wanderers are going to hope that they can get more footy on the outside, and their leg speed and that pressure that we saw towards the end of that second quarter is going to get them over the line. I think St Mary's, they're going to bank on their systems and their structure, trying to get Ryan Smith to get first use through the middle and try and get it to Paredes, get it in quick to their forwards and defend really hard. So I don't think there'll be too many changes. I reckon both teams are going to stick to their systems. There's only 1 point in it, so I don't think there's real need to change too much right now. Just keep backing yourself in and hope that that things go your way, and if they don't, then they might look at doing something different.
Well, Wanderers are back out there already in position. St Mary's came out did a light stretch but broke up into their 3 areas. But the interesting thing, at half-time, Wanderers jogged off straight into the change rooms, and Nate Paredes brought in every St Mary's player, had him out there for a couple of minutes, just giving him, I guess, his thoughts of the first half. But it got a bit fiery towards the end with the free kick, and the umpires having a chat about Ryan Smith, even to one of the St Mary's personnel. So
I dare say that chat that Nate Paredes had was about discipline, and we've spoken about that throughout the call. It might even be up to 6 or 7, sort of 50-metre penalties, with 3 or 4 of those resulting in scores. So no doubt that Nate Paredes will be saying, hey, Wanderers are going to try and get into our heads, and they're going to try and put us off our game. We need to stop, we need to reset, we need to focus on our football and play the St Mary's brand that we know.
And that's Brenton Toy, our expert this afternoon here at Tracy Village Oval. Hope you're enjoying the call. Huge second half coming up here for SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse. I'm Shannon Byrne to get us underway for the third quarter. Dominic McCormack in a very warm afternoon here, Dom. But the good news, there is a bit of a breeze, but they're still out there in full sunlight. It's 5:15 local time, and it feels like 37 degrees. I think we've got the best seat in the house, don't we?
We've got the hot seat, that's for sure. It's even hotter out there, though. So Jake Toa lining up in the ruck for St Mary's. Sebastian Priest for the Eagles. Sebastian Priest in particular had a very, very good first half, using his leap, using his run very, very nicely out of the ruck for the Eagles. He's a very good player. See what sort of an impact he does have in this second half. Players just waiting here for the umpires to get the game underway. Ball held aloft, third quarter about to start. Wanderers in front by a point. They led by 7 at quarter time. Toa up high, got the ball down. Coming through was Fuller. Quick kick up towards half forward, missed by Newman. Gallus gathered it. Go again, Clee on the right boot. Chipping up towards Simpson. Got a hand to it, couldn't handle it cleanly. Goal kicked, well done. Matthew Motlop from the right forward pocket. The tap-on came from Simpson. And in the first 16 seconds of this third quarter, Matthew Motlop on the board with a really important goal.
Yeah, good work again by the Eagles there, just able to get a quick clearance out. I think it was Clee that got the quick kick forward. You did say what changes would be making. I said there won't be any. Well, the best intercept defensive mark is out there for Wanderers. He's now down in the forward line. So a move there for Aaron Motlop, and maybe having Newman down there is starting to separate the St Mary's defenders and create a few more isolated one-on-ones for them.
So the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted Tyre Power experts. Wanderers 7-4-46, St Mary's 6-3-39.
Toa and Priest go at it. Tap down to captain St Mary's and Paredes. Up to centre half forward. Shannon Rioli taken off in a very strong tackle. Picked up again by St Mary's. Kicked hurriedly into the right forward pocket. Erlinson for Wanderers is going to get it. He gets a handball out, and it's a clearing kick out of defence. Priest takes it. Takes off as well. Takes a bounce. Goes through the middle of the park. Priest has been going well in the ruck. Goes up to Simpson. Simpson with the hands out in front. And Simpson has taken a brilliant mark in front of his opponent, Braxton Armat. Simpson just got his fingers to it, because as he came down from that mark, Braxton Armat was holding onto the footy as well. And the umpires played it for Simpson being in front. And he's going to have to kick this. He's got a very tight angle in the right forward pocket. Looking for his 5th for the afternoon, and we've only clicked 1 minute 30 in the third term. Could it be a big outing for Simpson? They lead by 7 points. Simpson kicks with his head down. He didn't want to see where that was going, and it picks up a point, and that means they're 47 leading St Mary's 39. 2 minutes gone, third quarter.
Jacob Long just coming from the ground for St Mary's. Looks like it might be a right hamstring for Jacob Long as the ball comes in from Gallus. Finds Joseph Salmon close to the boundary. Low drop punt, finds Toa. Couldn't take the grab. Hard at it was Nathan Jones-Cabillo. Ball goes backwards by hand to McLean, the captain. High up and under through centre half forward. He's just passed it to Jackson Calder. Takes the mark at centre half forward. Now gives by hand to Paredes. Taken down, gets back up, delivers by hand to Calder. Snaps on goal, just goes straight to Mitchell Taylor, who's standing, waiting in the goal square. Poor play in the end by St Mary's. And the Eagles now on the rebound with Daniel Wheater taking the mark at half back.
And Priest has come off as well. He's looking very tentative on a left hamstring. So one player down at the moment. Ball inside forward, 50 for Wanderers. And the man on the lead was Newman, but it was cut off by his own player, Caleb Nicky. Caleb Nicky goes quickly up to Simpson at the top of the square, and Simpson can't gather. So now St. Mary's are going to get through the back, but it's only going to be as far as Nicky. And he has been well defensively across that 50 line. Caleb Nicky. He's going to have to kick it 49 metres, 45-degree angle, off 3 steps. Wasn't too convincing. That's not going to go anywhere near the goals. And kicked off the ground and beautifully rowed by O'Connell down on the ground in the right forward pocket, out of nothing. And O'Connell has kicked it off the ground and picked up a goal for Wanderers, and more importantly, that is 2 quick goals for Wanderers, and they get that lead out to 53 to St. Mary's 39. 4 minutes gone, third quarter.
We mentioned Jacob Long missing from that St. Mary's defence there, and they were just unable to sort of clear their defensive 50. It came back to Caleb Nicky. As you said, it was sort of 2-3 step kick, but it went to the goal square, and who was there? Brody Newman forced a contest, and that player, Bo O'Connell, like his game, he's got so much more to give. Right spot, right time. Got to the front of the contest and kicked a great crumbing goal. Great work, Wanderers.
SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse. Ball back in the middle. Wanderers exerting some authority here. Ball tapped out. Coming through strongly again was Bo O'Connell, out-bodying Nicky Aaron, taking the footy, then losing it. Brody Newman coming through strongly. In fact, it was Ankin Lewis. Ball pushed forward. Erlinson couldn't take it cleanly. Comes back to Caleb Nicky. He's having a good little patch here. Nicky, lovely pass, finds Bo O'Connell at right half forward. Matt Wilkinson on the mark. So Bo O'Connell now called to play on. Wilkinson moves off the mark. O'Connell's kick is high into the right forward pocket. The players fly. No mark taken. Off hands. Charging through was Gallus. Couldn't pick it up. Fijo did. Kick on goal's a beauty. Oh, it's just bounced in the goal square. Goes to Lockie Taylor. Steps around an opponent, now goes by hand. Into the corridor, still inside defensive 50, finds Paredes. Up through the middle, goes to Calder. 1 grab, 2 grab, couldn't get hold of it. Matthew Motlop comes through to spoil. Nick Aaron couldn't take it away from him. Dives back in and grabs a footy. Right in front of our commentary position here at centre wing. And the umpire's going to ping which player? He's going to ping... Wow, I thought he was going to ping Matthew Motlop there for a moment, but Nick Aaron is pinged, and Daniel Wheatra will take the free kick from centre wing.
He kicks it up to right forward, and that hurried kick finds Newman out on the lead. As you heard Brenton Toy say, what a move this has been for Newman. He's been busy. And you just realise how tall he is out there, because he's still got a good bit of height on some of these St. Mary's defenders. As Newman going to have a shot on goal. Kicks it from the paint of 50, 45-degree angle. That's not going to have the distance. And behind is Simpson. In front for St. Mary's is Salmon. Ball still down on the ground. Wilkinson is there. Simpson falls over, and the ball is hurried through for a behind. And that means Wanderers move to 54. It's trailing, St. Mary's trailing 39. 6.5 minutes gone, third quarter. Hope you're enjoying SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse.
Wilkinson with ball in hand. Looks to come long to the commentary wing. Target is Calder. Off hands. Tyson couldn't get a kick away. Totham grabs hold of the footy. Nice little handball. Just didn't quite pick up Fijo. Over the footy, Hemsley. Tunnel balls it, and the umpire says it's a throw. So the free kick will go back to Fijo. Plays on immediately. On the lead now, out to Simpson. Hands out in front. Braxton Armat somehow managed to spoil. Got a handball away to Hildebrandt. His handball now to Hemsley. Steps away from O'Connell. Wrapped up by Fijo. Ball and all tackle. Holding the ball. In fact, it was Caleb Nicky. He handballs off immediately to Bo O'Connell. Long kick. And there will be a downfield free kick.
Against Hemsley. Against
Hemsley for bowling over Bo O'Connell. So Wanderers really exerting some authority here. The free kick to be taken down there by Daniel Clee. And he's being put on some sort of an angle here. I thought that ball bounced right in the goal square. Close. So Daniel Clee. Left of centre. 2 metres in from the boundary. Wilkinson on the mark. He will go for the snap on the right boot, one would expect. Only about 15 metres from goal. Sets off snaps. It's a terrible kick. It's come off the instep. It's a torpedo.
It's a reverse
out of bounds on the full in the right forward pocket. Right across the face.
Couldn't do that if you tried next time.
Couldn't do that if you tried. So at the 8-minute mark of this game, St Mary's with a free kick in the left back pocket. And the scoreboard for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts, 8-5-53 the Eagles. St Mary's 6-3-39.
Jacob Long coming back on, but good work from Salmon as well, though. That's the pressure around that kick. But he wasn't able to give him much more space, so that's good work defensively for St Mary's. Jacob Long's back on. Matt goes into the back left pocket, finds Labastida. Labastida goes down the outer wing looking for Smith, who was in front. But Caleb Nicky got a hand to it, and the ball's going to go out for a throw-in. Caleb Nicky has started this third quarter.
Yeah, I think both teams have had players that have just popped up, you know, in certain patches throughout the game and have been really good.
Boundary throw in now. Smith up against Nicky. Nicky forced the ball forward slightly. Ball went to Hemsley. I thought dropped it. Got it to Smith. Back then to Hildebrand. He's bowled over. Loses the footy. Footy came then to Aaron Dunn. Handball forward. Got it to Bo O'Connell. O'Connell a good kick up to Simpson. Couldn't quite find him. And behind him taking the mark was Braxton Armat. Calling for it long was Lockie Taylor. Can he take the mark? He can't on centre wing. He gathers the footy. Sets off. One bounce. Two bounces in pursuit. Cabillo finds him and takes him out of bounds. That's an excellent, excellent chase there by Joel Cabillo, who put the pressure on. Brenton, classic example of one bounce too many.
Yeah, but look, you've got to give it to Lockie Taylor for taking the game on, but certainly the chase from Cabillo there just didn't give up on it, applied enough pressure and forced the football over, giving his team a chance to win it from a stoppage.
Ryan Smith up against Nicky. Both looking into the sunlight. Nicky went early. Ball came down on the ground. It's still going to be in favour of Wanderers. Hurried kick forward. St Mary's want it deliberate. And it's going to be tossed in directly in front of us on the commentary wing. Great crowd here for this third versus fourth clash. Third place Wanderers 53, leading St Mary's 39.
Ryan Smith wins the ruck contest down beautifully. Nicky Aaron couldn't quite pick it up. Totham takes the ball and taken high by Tyson. So Totham now trying to step around Tyson, almost does it. Then finds Nicky really, really nicely. Good little kick. Parides on the mark. Nicky goes short, finds Newman in front of Gallus. Left half forward, 3 metres in from the boundary. Newman now long, looking for Simpson. Lockie Taylor in the way, punches the footy away. In pursuit of the footy out there, Jack Gallagher. St Mary's wrestling forward. Wanderers taking the footy. Nice handball comes out to Thomas Motlop. Good hands from him. Back to Jones Cabillo, up towards Jerome Motlop. Can't take the mark. Off the ground, Daniel Wheatra. Snap from 35 is a beauty. What a goal from Daniel Wheatra. Good kick from the key defender. Yes, that's right, the key defender puts another goal on the board. They've kicked 3 goals to 0 in this quarter. And the Tyre Power scoreboard shows that the Eagles are now sitting out at 10-5-65. In fact, it's 4 goals to 0. 10-5-65 to St Mary's 6-3-39. Tyre Power, your trusted Tyre Power experts. We've gone 11.5 minutes in this third quarter.
The Eagles are just applying an incredible amount of pressure on the St Mary's ball carriers at the moment and forcing all kinds of mistakes. And look, once they get it in there, Simpson down there, he's dangerous. Newman, he's dangerous, and they're getting some good crummers at his feet. JJ Motlop down there, Thomas Motlop getting involved now. Bo O'Connell starting to, you know, show his wares through the middle as well.
Smith up against Priest. Priest came off, looked a little... Got a bit of a stretch in the left hamstring. He's back on. So's Jacob Long for St Mary's. Ball comes out of the middle through Parides for St Mary's. Goes into the right forward pocket looking for Calder. Great defensive work. And that's punched away over the boundary by Brenton Motlop, who got front position. And the ball's going to be tossed in the right forward pocket for St Mary's. 30 metres around from their goal. There's a number of players come off for a rest, including Jerome Motlop.
Ball from the back, Calder wins it down, but Wanderers take it away momentarily through Thomas Motlop. A free kick has been paid behind that ruck contest. So St Mary's right in front of goal, and player with ball in hand is Archie Hildebrand. So man on the mark just inside 50. Archie Hildebrand just slightly to the right of centre. It'd be some sort of kick if he were to kick this goal, a much-needed one to say the least. So Archie Hildebrandt on the approach to goal. Low trajectory drop punt kick. Made the distance, but not the accuracy. Off to the right for a behind. So that scoreboard for Tyre Power, just checking, and Wanderers 9-6-60. The scoreboard's been corrected. St Mary's 6-4-40, so a 20-point ball game. Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer.
Short kick, and that is going to go to Lewis. Lewis gets a punch from behind, so the ball spills free. Umpire's going to pick up a free kick. And that's going to go against Matthew Motlop. They've got to go to Tyson, the man with the long sleeves. Tyson wheels around on his left, goes up to Calder at full forward, but it's punched through defensively by Matthew Motlop, and he decides to take off quickly out of the defence.
Found Bo O'Connell. Bo O'Connell out wide. Went to Fuller. Fuller finds Thomas Motlop already at centre wing. The Eagles on the move. Bo O'Connell's run all that way. Takes possession here at centre wing. Bounces the ball. Caught with the footy. Dropping the ball. Well done. Good tackle by Tyson. It was a good effort. He chips out wide. Finds a teammate out there in Klusky. Haven't seen much of him at all. Finds Hildebrandt. Dropped a mark he should have taken. Comes backwards. Goes back to Gallus. Gallus stuck here at left half back of St Mary's. Brings it right across the half back line. Dangerous kick. Set up Samuel Holner. Was good enough to take the mark and did well. His kick slightly off the side of the boot. Goes to Joseph Salmon at centre wing. Takes the mark. Takes off. Taken out after he kicked the footy. Has to be a downfield free kick. And that's exactly what is paid. So St Mary's will take that free kick. Mitchell Taylor, the man on the mark. Just looking to see who the player is that has ball in hand. Again, it may be Klusky playing much more of a forward role here this afternoon. So at right half forward. Ball in hand.
Just unnecessary by the Wanderers players there. Didn't need to bump Salmon late after he'd kicked it.
So Jack Klusky now. Right half forward. Mitchell Taylor, the man on the mark. Again, just inside 50. 45-degree angle. About 25 metres in from the boundary. Right of centre. Kicking to the right of your dial. Klusky with his kick on the way. Good looking kick off the boot. Started slightly left. Came in right. Snuck it in. A much needed goal for the green and gold. And on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard, Wanderers 9-6-60. St Mary's creep a little closer. 7-5-47. Klusky with his second goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, it was a great kick there by Klusky, just as a result of some undisciplined play there by the Wanderers players, just free after disposal. But again, a little bit of a breeze sort of left to right, but punched it nice and hard. The first 15 minutes of this quarter, it's been all Wanderers. So I think that St Mary's have done pretty well to weather the storm without, getting blown out of the water. And that goal there keeps them in it well and truly.
That's 13 points. Wanderers have a lead. 16 minutes gone in the third quarter. Smith and Priest go at it at the middle.
Great
Jerome Motlop kicked it straight, as you heard there, into an opposition player. Hildebrandt gets it over to the left forward pocket for St Mary's. Calder now on the lead in the left forward pocket deep, and that's going to drop at his feet, and he's just going to tap it over the boundary. And the ball's going to be tossed in 10 metres around from St Mary's left post. A lot of players walking out there at the moment. Warm afternoon here in Darwin. Local time is 5:30 as the ball's tossed back in.
Ruck contest won by the Eagles down to Jerome Motlop. Flicks out a handball. Nice one it is too. Finds Thomas Motlop. He goes wider still to Erlinson. Erlinson, nice hands to Mitchell Taylor on the move. Little chip kick up centre wing looking for Fijo. Finds him eventually. His handball was untidy to Erlinson. St Mary's here in numbers. Ball flicked out to Hildebrandt. Goes now to Foster. Handball to Shannon Rioli. Really haven't seen much of him at all. Long kick. Shepherded on the line. Straight through for a goal from Shannon Rioli. Haven't seen him all afternoon. Bobs up, bang, straight through for a major.
Yeah, it was great the work there by Shannon Rioli. St Mary's definitely needing his leadership there to get themselves back into the game as I said earlier, Wanderers controlled the first 15 minutes, but this, couple of goals in the last few minutes for St Mary's has been really good. And as I speak, Brody Newman is making his way back down to the defensive 50 for Wanderers. So certainly Aaron Motlop just conscious of, potentially the game, or giving an opportunity for St Mary's to get back into it. So Newman going back. But that last 5 minutes for St Mary's, outstanding.
So they've crawled back the deficit. Both teams have had an 11-point lead at some stage, and Wanderers now have that gap narrowed by St Mary's, who've kicked the last 2 goals. 7 points in it. Smith gets a tap for St Mary's, but only as far as Jerome Motlop. Kicked out of the middle in favour of Wanderers. Good hands by Braun. Braun turns around, kicks it up to forward 50. Totham was there for Wanderers, picking it up and finding an unmarked Simpson. Simpson around the body, and Simpson unmarked. Braxton Matt had gone looking for the ball, and Simpson has kicked his 5th for the afternoon. And you'd probably say that it was his easiest. And now it is going to be 66 points up on the board for Wanderers. They're looking for 3rd outright if they can win their 5th game in a row. And it's Wanderers 10-6-66, leading St Mary's 8-5-53. 19 minutes gone in the 3rd quarter.
That was the reply they needed. Wanderers just something quick to get themselves, back on the scoreboard after St Mary's kicked their 2 in a row. Matt for St Mary's just left his opponent, went to the contest, didn't influence it. Simpson stayed at the back, got a nice handball from Klee, laid it across his right boot under a little bit of pressure, but goal nonetheless, and another one for the Eagles.
Ball back in the middle, Sebastian Priest lining up against Ryan Smith. Saints really not getting the dominance out of the middle that perhaps they should with Smith. They win it this time through Nick Yarran. Kick up through half forward. On the chase, Klusky with Wheater. Klusky gathers. Wheater lays a good tackle to put some pressure on. Ball up towards Toa. Slapped it nicely to Paredes. Coming through strongly was Matthew Motlop. Gathered the footy. Got it to Mitchell Taylor. Lost it. Back into the pack. Tackles laid. Handball out to Erlinson was a goodie. His was out to Nathan Jones-Cabillo. Laying the tackle on him was Toa. Good handball, though, came out to Bo O'Connell. Up into the middle of the ground goes to Thomas Motlop. Infringed. And a 50-metre penalty given after Thomas Motlop took the mark and was infringed. So the umpire marching. Thomas Motlop inside, just inside 50. So Gala standing at 49 metres, just to the right of centre.
He'll be relieved of that because he's given away 2 50s.
Thomas Motlop's kick was a good one, and he goes straight to an unmarked Bo O'Connell. And Ryan Smith eventually getting to the mark and will stand the mark. So Wanderers, they conceded 2, but have an opportunity here to gain those 2 back very, very quickly. Bo O'Connell's kicked 1 already this afternoon, and that came earlier in this 3rd quarter. 20.5 minutes gone. Bo O'Connell right of centre will kick from 45. Very close to the man on the mark. Kick on its way. And misses to the left-hand side. So the Tyre Power scoreboard, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer, shows the Eagles 10-7-67, leading St Mary's 8-5-53 at the 21-minute mark of this 3rd quarter.
Salmon gets it in the right back pocket after a short chip in. He goes further afield looking for Gallus. Gallus just marks it right on the, hugging the boundary. 51 metres from Wanderers' goal. Erlinston, it stands a mark, goes down the commentary wing looking for Toa. He's got 3 Wanderers players behind him. Ball's punched into the middle. Yarran tries to pick it up, ducked out of traffic, gave it off to Shannon Rioli. And running through, and an ugly kick on goal. He had more time than he expected, Klusky, but Klusky has missed to the right, and that brings up a point for, he's missed everything.
Yep.
So Klusky
ends up being a good result, really. Boundary throw in.
Yep.
Would have been better if he'd got a accurate shot on goal, because there was no one in front of him.
So boundary throw in now. Sebastian Priest just went up by himself, tapped the footy down.
He wasn't nominated, right?
Nope. Not the nominated ruckman.
So it was Calder and Thomas Motlop, I think.
Yeah, well picked out, Brenton. And so Brenton, free kick then to Calder, isn't it? Instantly.
Correct. Yep. So
Sebastian Priest just trying to influence the contest. He knows he's a ruckman.
They're getting a bit confused at stages, Wanderers. Sometimes...
I won't say it was an average throw. It wasn't the best throw coming in. It was a little bit short, so I think Priest just reacted and thought they had to go for it.
So Jackson Calder dead in front, about 35 metres out, has his shot, toe pokes at it and toe pokes that straight through the middle. His first goal since early in the second quarter. He kicks his fourth, and St Mary's, to say the least, that's a much needed goal. They keep in touch. The Tyre Power scoreboard now showing you at the 23-minute mark, Wanderers 10-8-68. And St Mary's 9-5-59. So a 9-point ball game here deep into this third quarter.
That's what we mean about it going out of bounds being a good result for St Mary's. If it went through for a behind, Wanderers take the football out and they exit their defensive half. That boundary throw-in gave them a second chance play. Calder against Thomas Motlop. Priest just not reading, that he wasn't the nominated ruck. Tried to compete. Calder took the free kick and a goal.
Toa back in the ruck for St Mary's, replacing Smith, who's having a rest. Goes up against Priest. Priest just wins it down himself. Tried to go through traffic. Paredes dispossessed him. The captain for St Mary's puts it up into centre half forward. And Taylor's going to pick up a free kick after Kluski infringed. Taylor goes out to the left, still inside their defensive 50. 24 minutes gone in this third quarter. McLean has it for Wanderers. He's got a bit of a space in the middle. Decided not to go around Shannon Rioli. Gave a handball to Erlinson. Straight through the middle of the park go Wanderers. Kick up towards Simpson. Simpson just caught behind, wasn't able to take it. Ball down on the ground. Great work from Holner for St Mary's. He gets a handball out. Jack Long's not able to pick it up cleanly. He handballs it back in, but the umpire's going to say that Jacob Long, ran out. There's a bit of push and shove here. Down on the ground is Holner. Jumpers just being pulled everywhere. And they've just run out, so the umpire's going to quickly throw it back in and players have to get back into position.
Boundary throw in comes down to Hildebrand. Drops the footy after he took possession. Shuffled out the back, comes to Keelan Fijo. Quick snap on goal. Very fortunate for St Mary's. It dribbles through for a behind. Quick play there by Wanderers.
Some very tired bodies out there, as we're sort of seeing towards the later stage of this third quarter. I don't know if wrestling is going to do you any favours. I don't know if I'd have that
Maybe
much
they're holding
energy
each
out
other
there.
up.
Yeah.
None at all.
Jacob Long to get the kicking duties back in after coming off and getting a right hamstring looked at. You'd probably think you'd give those duties to somewhere else because he's just going to boot this down the commentary wing. He does. It's a huge 60 metres on a hamstring that was tested. And a beautiful mark from Calder. The pack mark taken from the full forward, who's a long way from home. Kicks it down the wing. Robinson catches it as it goes over. He goes a shot on goal, but the siren sounds and beats them all as a number of players, including Toa, go to the ground, drop to the ground. So does Jacob Long. Very, very warm afternoon here in Darwin. Wanderers players are high-fiving. It's three-quarter time, and it is a 10-point lead to Wanderers. Looking for third outright over St Mary's. It is 10-9-69 to Wanderers and St Mary's 9-5-59. We'll take a breath. This is going to be a huge final quarter coming up here at Tracy Village Oval in a very, very warm afternoon in Darwin.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
If there's one thing you can be certain of these days, it's that at Chemist Warehouse, your health is our top priority, which is why we're now a COVID-19 vaccination provider. To check your eligibility, scan the QR code in-store or visit our website, chemistwarehouse.com.au/COVID. Then simply book your appointment and we'll see you in store on the day of your vaccination. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Whatever journey you're on, a road trip with mates or family adventure, Tyre Power has you covered during their big holiday sale on now. Your #1 destination on Google Maps for safety, Tyre Power is ready to help you plan that next driving holiday. During the big holiday sale on now, buy 3, get 1 free on selected Falcon passenger tyres. So, before you hit the road, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. Go and see Grant and Des at Tyre Power Darwin, 131 Stewart Highway.
The Sounding Board with Craig Hutchison and Damien Barrett. It's sport, it's the media, it's talking about the issues that matter.
Because you tried to knock his door down at the beat. Is that what happened or not?
No, I just didn't know the protocols really,
or cared for them.
Or probably cared for them, I guess. Yeah. I didn't know there was an old view of the Sheffield Shield rider. No one else can write about the Shield. I thought a story's a story, right? You had a story, go for it. And then if someone went away for 2 weeks, I just always saw that as an opportunity to write about their patch because they're away. So they'd come back and he'd written 5 stories and left a bit of debris in their backyard.
Debris in
And looking back, I can understand why they had some issues. Like Peter DeZero went away for a month. Okay, I'll write some soccer.
Peter DeZero.
No, Pete went away for a month and he came back and I set up a Super League war in soccer. I understand League Rugby Ball. I had a breakaway league. Spent all this time cultivating these magnificent relationships, done a great job, and you came back and I had the sport at war with each other every day in the paper.
The Sounding Board podcast with Hutchie and Damo. Thanks to Drinkwise. If you're choosing to have a drink, choose to drink wise.
Remember this.
There is nothing like a crown. Of picking it up and putting it down.
And they're right. There is nothing like a Crown. For the best range of new second-hand and rental forklifts. For the best parts and service on all makes and models. And for unique and innovative technology. Guaranteed reliability and superior quality. Crown, the forklift experts. Check them out at crown.com or call 131 604. No risk, no worries.
Being at the greatest events on the sporting calendar is what makes sport fans tick. And to witness the biggest sporting moments in Australia, Ballpark Entertainment can get you there. AFL, NRL, horse racing, soccer, basketball, cricket, boutique events and more. Ticketing, corporate suites and money can't buy experiences. Get the best access to the best sporting events with Ballpark Entertainment. Making memories. BallparkEntertainment.com.au.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Your local bowls club is seeking competitive teams. You'll need your natural, whose sporting prowess is unmatched. Your technician to roll you in and out of the tightest spots. Your thinker to lead your game plan. Your enforcer to strike when needed. And Steve, he can get the drinks. Local legends wanted. Search Bowls Club near me to join a team or start one.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy. The Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Welcome back to SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse, always here for you. Three-quarter time break over here. The two teams out on the ground. Siren sounds to get the fourth quarter underway. It's a close game, 10 points, Eagles in the lead. Ryan Smith wins the ruck contest initially, pushes it down Eagles' way, then is taken out as he went for the footy, hit high. Play on, says the umpire. Caleb Nicky grabs a footy, gets a handball away to his captain in Braden McLean. Long kick down towards half forward, taken by Klusky for St Mary's. Kick straight back the other way. Wilkinson down there against Mitchell Taylor. Wilkinson from full back to centre half forward. The ball flicked out by the Eagles. Erlinson takes possession again. Gets it out to McLean. McLean finds Jones Cabillo. Wanderers just got players loose everywhere here. Tottenham now at left half forward. Little chip kick looking for Thomas Motlop, but just next to him Shannon Rioli taking a well-judged mark at right half back for St Mary's.
Shannon Rioli decides to switch play, goes into the middle of the defensive 50 to Jacob Long. Jacob Long just chips it over to Labastida. Now, it's St Mary's that have a number of players. Labastida decides to go long. Good kick, finds Matt just outside their defensive 50 on the commentary wing. Matt chips it forward. Honours the lead of Robinson, who'd led a long way down the commentary wing. This is the defensive side of the commentary wing. Plays on. Long kick down the commentary wing. Taylor's there for Wanderers, and Taylor takes a great mark. He goes into the middle of the park. There's a number of free players around at the moment. McLean got the handball, goes into the middle of the park, finds Wheatra. Daniel Wheatra goes to the outer side. Thomas Motlop dropped a mark he should have taken, but he handballed it off. Going up to Simpson. Simpson's claiming he was held. Ball goes over to the back. Drops to Marcus Totham. Totham unselfishly looks into the middle of the oval, and the Wanderers players want a free kick, but it goes back to
Deacon Braun,
who had a shot on goal, and he was just nudged off it. He was directly in front. Good defensive work, nudged off it, and it's gone to the right of the post.
Jacob Long brings the ball back into play, goes straight to Lockie Taylor. Off on his bike, running straight away. Long kick down centre wing. Looking down there for his teammate in Jack Gallagher. Can't find him. Eagles in possession momentarily. Saints take possession through Klasky. Tackled. Gets the ball back to a teammate in Paredes. Wanderers, however, caused the turnover. Handball into midfield goes to Daniel Wheatra. Wheatra just loping through midfield. Normally uses the ball well. Goes out looking for Simpson. Takes the mark under pressure from two defenders. But he takes the mark and takes it well. He's already kicked 5. And his teammates telling him, go back and have the kick at goal. Be about 15 to 20 metres in from the boundary, left of centre. Kicking to the right of your dial. And Brenton, why wouldn't you go back and have a shot at goal? He's kicked his 5.
That's right. And look, he's been on target today. Just a good kick of the football for a big fella.
Comes in with the deliberate approach. Kick on its way. High, long, and to the left. So through for the minor score to get proceedings underway here. Wanderers on the Tyre Power scoreboard 10-10-70. Leading St Mary's 9-5-59. Tyre Power kicking goals with Falcon Tyres.
Like that he doesn't leave you guessing. Like he punches it nice and hard.
Sure did.
Jacob Long punches it short to Labastida, who had to take a mark running backwards. He handballed it back onto Jacob Long, who kept running. Now down the commentary wing, and just catching it on the boundary line was Robinson. He takes off down the commentary wing. Calder with his hands out in front, dropped a mark, was looking straight into the sun. Ball right directly in front of us on the commentary wing. 4 players down on the ground. Wilkinson is on top of Wanderers' Brenton Motlop, and the umpire's going to ball it up. Looking for a clear passage behind him, and Calder's going to go up against Nicky.
St Mary's win it down. Yaron, quick kick out. Taken, however, by Daniel Wheatra, the champion defender. Quick kick on. Half back. Bo O'Connell takes the mark. Again, plays on nicely. Goes to the run of Matthew Motlop. Chips across half back to Thomas Motlop. Handball inboard to the run of Bo O'Connell. Takes a bounce. Good shepherd laid. Bo O'Connell, long kick. Dangerous kick. Down towards the goals. Through the goals. Well shepherded through there by Eddie Simpson. Wonderful running Eagles play. Trademark Wanderers play.
Terrific play there by Bo O'Connell. I thought that the last 10 minutes of the third quarter, he really started to get some confidence, and you could see him getting some, free-flowing footy. He crumbed a goal down one end. After he kicked that goal, he got 3 possessions involved in a clearance and another scoring chain. So we're really starting to see the best of Bo O'Connell now.
And there was a hit behind play, a fair one, where it was a shepherd, where Foster was running after Bo O'Connell.
Yep. Keelan Fijo, I think it was.
Yeah. Foster had a headband on, and the headband came flying off. Foster's just come off for a bit of a break, and rightly so. Needs to catch his breath after that one. Ball tossed up. Smith doesn't even get up off the ground. He went up against Nicky, he had the height advantage. He kept running Smith. Handball out to Salmon on the left commentary wing. Back to Smith. Smith goes in to the middle. Hildebrandt dropped it. Picked it up and gave it off to Paredes, the captain. He goes out to Lachlan Taylor. Taylor of St Mary's chips it forward to Hildebrandt, who kept running. Good work from Hildebrandt out the middle. He's on the right wing, goes for a bounce, comes inside the forward 50, tries to penetrate, comes in, misses Calder. Wanderers mop up, ugly ball down on the ground. Paredes there, and he's harassing Jerome Motlop. Wanderers fans around him want a hold. Daniel Wheatra comes through as he does always. Handballs it off to Fijo. Fijo goes back to Bo O'Connell. Takes one bounce. Maybe nearly ran too far. And
just
he
got
has.
him.
I was thinking there's got to become a second bounce here, and Bo O'Connell actually had time to tuck the ball under his right wing, and he's run too far down the middle of the park after his great run and goal before.
Just caught in two minds. He was encroaching that space where he was almost about to make the distance but had to take a bounce.
So free kick here to St Mary's. Henry Labastida to take this at centre half back. Important moments here for St Mary's. 7 minutes gone. SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. Henry Labastida goes long, kick up towards centre half forward. Matt Wilkinson was taken out of the contest by Mitchell Taylor. Nothing wrong with that, says the umpire. Newman takes the mark. Newman kicked poorly, and Jake Toa takes the mark, kicks inboard and goes to Calder, just couldn't quite stretch enough. The ball stolen away by Brenton Motlop. His kick cut off by Jake Toa. Inboard goes to Matt Wilkinson. Takes the mark, 51 from goal. What can St Mary's do? Their forward line really hasn't worked that effectively this afternoon. On the lead there momentarily was Robinson. Wilkinson now right of centre. 55 from goal. Long kick. The Flyers are up and it's punched through for a behind. Eventually called. So St Mary's on the Tyre Power scoreboard, 9-6-60. Trailing the Eagles 11-10. 76 to the 8-minute mark of this last quarter.
Brenton Motlop with the kicking duties. He just hands it off to Taylor. Taylor goes to the right back pocket to Thomas Motlop. He takes a bounce. No one's near him. Salmon goes towards him. So Thomas Motlop kicks it down the commentary wing. Falls to Dunn. Goes back into the middle of the park. St Mary's, though, had the numbers. Nicky tried to pick it up for Wanderers. Marcus Totham with the pace. He's going to be able to cleverly keep this ball inside the right forward pocket, and Totham with very, very good smarts there to keep it towards a player, because St Mary's had the number. And there's going to be a free kick going to Marcus Totham. Ball was dragged back in by a St Mary's player. And Marcus Totham, 45-degree angle, just chips it up to the top of the square, looking for Simpson, goes over the top of him, and Braxton Armatt, the defensive player for St Mary's, is going to get a free kick and get them out of trouble.
So Armatt now off to Labastida. Labastida in the back pocket. Long kick looking for Robinson. Chipping in was Hildebrand. Hildebrand takes the footy. Gets himself out of a tackle. Tyson. Ball smothered by Braun. Running in numbers are the Eagles. Braun, can he pick it up? He can. Just little chip. He was looking for O'Connell. The chip goes towards Gallus. Off by hands now to Taylor. The foot race now between Taylor and Bo O'Connell. Taylor takes a bounce, as he always does. Long kick from him up towards teammate there in Jack Gallagher. Took that beautifully. Just forward of centre wing. Now called to play on. Kicks long inside 50. Target down there is Calder. Hands are up. Ball comes down. Wilkinson gathers. The high up and under in the pocket will be out of bounds on the full. And Saints turn it over yet again inside their forward 50. 9.5 minutes gone. The Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre expert, sees Wanderers in the lead by 16 points, 76-60.
Wheatra goes down the middle of the park. Wobbly kick, goes straight past Cabillo. Now it's in the middle of the park. Thomas Motlop tried to toe poke it, coming through with Shannon Rioli for St Mary's. He picked it up. He got a handball, and there's going to be a play on down towards the right forward pocket for St Mary's. Salmon picks it up, gathers. Handballs into the right forward pocket. Salmon goes again. He's dispossessed, and the umpire is going to let it go. Wanderers fans around us wanted a throw. And coming from the ground is Braun, who was left down on the ground for some time in back play with cramps. This is fast and furious. 16 points the lead for Wanderers, 10.5 gone final term.
Calder wins the ruck contest. Eagles there in numbers. Players milling around the footy. Paredes grabs it. Ball spills out the back. Quick snap on goal. Is going to go across the face for a minor score. So St Mary's doing it in points at the moment. 9-7. 61. Plays Wanderers 11-10, 76. Thanks to Tyre Power. Kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check.
Umpire tells McLean to hurry it on. He just spears one straight into the chest of Thomas Motlop. 40 metres still inside their defensive 50. He just chips it over to Nicky. Nicky then goes further out, just misses a mark, and Braxton Armatt takes an intercept mark for St Mary's. Attacking side of the outer wing. So that's Holner. Holner goes into the right forward pocket. Calder is outmarked by 2 Wanderers defenders, and they get a hurried kick away, but only towards the top of their forward 50.
Zach Robinson took that mark, tries to spot up Calder, finds him on the lead. Eventually, they've gotten there. A number of entries, and finally Calder, a little bit of space there on Brenton Motlop, takes a mark 40 from goal. Left of centre, 45-degree angle. Got a terrific view here from our commentary position, and to say that Saints need this at the 12-minute mark of this last quarter. 76 plays 61. Jackson Calder, he's kicked 4 goals already this afternoon. Only bettered by Eddie Simpson up the other end, who's kicked 5 for the Eagles. Comes in now. Kick on its way. Low trajectory, starts right, veers in left. He's kicked his 5th. They're still in the game. 10-7, 67 St Mary's, trailing Wanderers 11-10, 76. Thanks to Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent tyre retailer. 13 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Yeah, the Twin Towers at either end of the ground, keeping both teams in it. Simpson down one end and Calder down the other. He's been terrific today, Calder. Almost everything that's gone down to him, you know, he's made the most of his opportunities there. I was going to comment earlier that it's a good sign for Wanderers if Calder's up on the wing getting his kicks, but he's able to get back. He's still dangerous around goal and still very much, you know, in this game, St Mary's. And perhaps they need to think of, you know, another avenue towards goal. I think that's been an issue of theirs lately as well.
Toa and Priest doing the rucking duties. Priest for Wanderers tried to tap it down. Bo O'Connell stuck a boot out, but it went up and under. Travelled a couple of metres towards Thomas Motlop. Ball down on the ground. Comes out now for St Mary's. Paredes tries a low ball that's picked up around his bootlaces by Wilkinson. Wilkinson puts it in the right forward pocket, looking for Calder. Calder wanted a free kick, thought his arms were chopped away, but Wanderers are going to come through defensively. And Daniel Wheatra has it.
Daniel Wheatra now from the last line of defence. Long kick out towards half-back, looking for Bo O'Connell. Lockie Taylor on the chase. O'Connell gathers. He was pressured by Wilkinson. Lovely kick finds Sebastian Priest out wide. He's just brought down. What a chase that was from Kluski. Kluski doesn't muck around. Wins the free kick. Plays on quickly. Goes to a teammate there in Geordie McMurtry. Caught with the footy. That was terrible play for St Mary's to turn it over in exactly the same spot. Wanderers take it. Ugly kick along the ground finds Brodie Newman on the chase. Foster. Newman turns him around, has the shot on goal and misses from 35 metres out on the angle. So some tired players, Brenton, with that point added to the Tyre Power scoreboard.
Tired players, but a great tackle over on the far side by Keelan Fijo. Got a bit of a rugby background and certainly showed that on that occasion.
Matt, with kick-in duties, decides to go himself, takes a bounce, goes for Smith, the ruckman who just come onto the field. And it goes over after Thomas Motlop got a hand to it. So the ball's going to be tossed in. 70 metres around from St Mary's goals, from Wanderers goals, apologies, on the commentary wing. Smith in front, taps it down. No one can pick it up at the moment. Totham tried to pick it up for Wanderers. Ball still spilling forward. Now the ball comes out to Yaron for St Mary's. He runs down the commentary wing, still decides to stay on the commentary wing, just goes over the head of Robinson.
Haven't seen much of Yaron this afternoon, Brenton.
No, he had a bit of a patch in that second quarter, and he was really good, but haven't called him since then, really.
Boundary throw in now. Umpires just setting themselves here. The players take position. Smith to go up against Ankin Lewis. Smith takes that footy and just bats it straight to Matthew Motlop. Just picking him off easily are the Eagles. Chain of handballs back to Matthew Motlop. Well run, the Eagles. Long kick out wide. Again, out to Aaron Dunn. Takes the mark at left centre wing. Foster manning the mark. Little chip. Looking out there for Simpson, manned by Braxton Armat. Simpson gathers, turns him inside out. Nice handball back to Matthew Motlop again. Have a shot at goal. What can he do with it? He misses the goal. Fantastic running from Matthew Motlop, unrewarded at the end with that errant kick. Score check here. 15.5 minutes gone. 11-11, 77 plays St Mary's 10-7, 67.
Priest comes off for Wanderers limping. Keep an eye on that, Brenton. Ball kicked in towards Ryan Smith, who's just on the commentary wing. There's a player down who is injured at the moment for St Mary's. Just getting slow to his feet is Yaron. Tyson with the long sleeve gets the free kick. He goes to Salmon. They're still in their defensive 50 at the moment, St Mary's. All the players have come over towards the commentary wing, so he decides to go into the middle of the park, finds Ryan Smith. He handballs it off to Foster. Foster goes inside, ugly kick. Well done to Brenton Motlop, who was out in front. Players down on the ground. Calder picks it up. He gives a beautiful handoff to his captain, Nathan Paredes, who was running past. And Nathan Paredes runs into an open goal, just drops it on his boot, dribbles it over for a goal. And they get one back, St Mary's. 17 minutes gone. It is 10 points the difference to Wanderers as a number of tired Wanderers players come off. It's actually, 4 points. They hadn't put the score back up. So it's 11-11-77 to 11-7-73. 4 points in it. St Mary's. What can they do here, Brenton? Putting the pressure on as
they're
tired
coming,
Wanderers.
and there's some very deep breaths being taken in front of us from the Wanderers players coming through the interchange. So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on here. They played really hard and they played an exciting brand of football. Perhaps they just need to slow the tempo and get it back on their terms again.
SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse. The ball tossed high. Ryan Smith had a touch on it. Comes to the back. Tyson gathers. Somehow gets a little toe poke away. Hildebrand in the middle in pursuit. Gets hold of the footy. Tackle brought to the ground. Can't release. Can he get it out? He's made no attempt at all. Absolutely gone. Well done, Marcus Totham. Laid that tackle and laid it really well. Now plays on. Long kick straight down the corridor. Players leap for it. Armat and Labastida spoiled each other. Handball came out for the Eagles. Tyson's in there again, so too Labastida. Pushed the handball away. Fijo, can he get hold of it? No, he can't. Salmon pushes him out of bounds. Coming through strongly was Jones-Cabillo. Can't take possession. Tyson over the footy. So too Jacob Long. And the umpire says, I will have it deep in the right forward pocket. The Eagles on the press. 18 and a half minutes gone. 4 points the margin. Eagles in the lead.
Ryan Smith gets there. Tosses it up. He's going to go up against Priest. Priest jumped over the top of him, thumps it forward, and it's going to go just to the goal line. And that's a wayward handball, ugly handball in the net from Matt. And it's going to give Wanderers a point. He tried to find Jacob Long, and the handball went through. So Wanderers moved to 79, St Mary's 73, 19 minutes gone in the final term.
Braxton Armat kicks the ball to Gallus. Gallus out wide to Lockie Taylor. He's played a pretty good second half as Lockie Taylor. Runs away. That kick is terrible. Just as I give him a rap, the classic commentator's curse. Mitchell Taylor, the turnover. Mitchell Taylor into Daniel Clee at centre-half forward. Eddie Simpson down there all by himself. Get the ball down to him. Instead, he finds Deacon Braun. And the mark taken by Braun on a 45-degree angle, 50 metres from goal. An important kick in the context of this match. 19 and a half minutes gone. 5 points is the margin. In fact, the scoreboard showing 6 points. So Deacon Braun, the number 12 on the back. Very important kick indeed. But the approach just trots to the right. Ball sneaks in for a goal. Deacon Braun, well done. And Wanderers out to a 2-goal lead at the 20-minute mark of this game. Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. That scoreboard now showing 12-13, 85 to St Mary's, 11-7, 73.
Perhaps something for Coach Vallejo and the St Mary's staff there to have a look at during the week. And no doubt that score launch has come from a turnover, and too many today from St Mary's, and quite often coming back inboard. They probably just should have just stayed wide and played on the outside and try and transition with a bit of space, but they took a bit of a risk, came back inboard. With that with that risk came a consequence. The ball turned over, got it back in, and Deacon Braun, a couple of options down there. Nice goal.
Smith is outdone by someone of Simpson's stature, who's in the goal, who's now in rucking at the moment. So he's doing it all.
Clee just with a handful of jumper there.
St Mary's, yep. Now it's Foster. He's been told to go. The left foot straight down the middle. Two players just go at it. Well done by Daniel Wheatra. And it's Shannon Rioli who has it and tries to steady it by going through the middle of the park. He finds Robinson. Robinson plays on around Bo O'Connell, who is standing the mark. Robinson looking for Calder, out on the lead. And great hands from Calder. Takes a beautiful mark. He was well checked by Brenton Motlop. Looking for his 6th for the afternoon. This is a huge one. He goes straight back, runs around Brenton Motlop, goes for a shot on goal, and he likes it. So does his teammates in this goal square. And Calder with a quick reply for St Mary's. And they move to 79. They trail by 6 points. This is game on here, deep in the final term. Winner of this will go outright onto 3rd position with a nice handy lead. There's a lot at stake in this match of the round. Hope you're enjoying SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse.
A quick transition there by St Mary's. Jackson Calder at full stretch, and just a great set of hands there. There was nothing that the Wanderers defenders there and Brenton Motlop could do.
6th goal as well.
He's played a good game as Jackson Calder, but the positive could also be a bit of a negative in that he seems to be the sole target. Ball tossed high in the middle of the ground. One down now by Edward Simpson. And Bo O'Connell scooting through the middle. Nice little handball over the top to Matthew Motlop. Cut off by Jacob Long. His handball picked up by Paredes. Goes in to grab the footy. Taken high. Receives the free. Plays on immediately. Goes to Toa. Toa to Foster. Took his eyes off the footy. Handball straight to Clee. Heard the call. Kick out wide looking for Priest. Now Newman takes the footy. Tackle by Armat. Poor tackle. His kick up to Priest. Couldn't take it. Holding the man there from St Mary's. The ball slapped out to Foster. Foster by hand finds Rioli. Rioli the little chip. It's a poor kick. Hildebrandt made it look half good. Coming through strongly was Simpson. Took possession at right half forward. Got it to Totham. Then to Matthew Motlop. Matthew Motlop to Clee. Long kick down towards the forward line. Spills from Braxton Armat to Sebastian Priest, who bangs it through from 15 metres for a goal.
Yeah, just pressure again. I think it was Matthew Motlop with the quick kick in. I was doubting whether he needed to go that quickly or he should have taken his time there. But again, those quick kicks coming in just put the St Mary's defence under pressure. Braxton Armat there potentially could have taken the mark or could have done a better job at punching it and clearing the scoring zone. But just let it get out the back there, and Wanderers just right spot, right time. Joe Bastian Priest liked his game today. He's rucked really hard all game, you know, in the ruck, and he's gone forward and provided an option as well.
So that's actually been a move there with Priest going down to full forward, and Simpson was rucking there for a bit. It worked out in the end. So Priest is back into full forward, back into the rucking duties. He's going to go up against Toa. Siren expected to go any moment now here. And we're sitting amongst the Wanderers faithful. You'll know when it's gone. Ball tossed up. Toa goes high for St Mary's. Tries to pick it up and go through it. Pick it up. Tried to get it was Hildebrandt. But it's going to be Wanderers who clear it out through McLean. McLean goes hurried kick down the commentary wing. Bo O'Connell had his head over it. Ball spills out. Salmon tried to pick it up. And there's going to be a ball tossed up in the commentary wing. The tackle applied by Matthew Motlop. Eagles fans wanted held ball, but there was no prior opportunity.
Toa now in the ruck contest, wins that down, only finds Hildebrandt. Trying to come through strongly again was Toa. Fuller driving himself through. Ball with Labastida close to the boundary and called out. So out of bounds, another boundary throw in. Just forward of centre, almost at right half forward here for the Eagles. Controlling the play here at the moment. 25 minutes down in this quarter. You're on SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse. And that Tyre Power scoreboard shows the Eagles in the lead, 91-79. The ball tossed in beautifully there. Sebastian Priest belts it away in favour of the Eagles. And a free kick will come back to the Eagles at right half forward. Daniel Clee to take that free kick. So everything going their way. Just saying to his teammates, I'm just going to steady things down here. Mitchell Taylor cruises around the back to pick up the handball. Now goes long into forward 50. The high flyers are there. No one can take the mark. Ball tapped into the corridor. Salmon got a handball away. Coming through strongly for the Eagles was Joel Cabillo on the outside of the right boot. Pops through another goal. Game over here at Tracy Village Oval. Wanderers will win this match at the 26-minute mark. They move on to 14-13, 97. St Mary's on 12-7, 79. Thanks to Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
Yeah, just run and pressure and just that speed. It's been an issue all day for the St Mary's. Wanderers certainly with that advantage there, and Bo O'Connell through the midfield there. He's been terrific, but Totham up forward, he's been great. Braden McLean, he showed some terrific leadership. JJ Motlop, all of their forwards. Simpson, you know, Newman's gone down there. They've just applied a tremendous amount of pressure, and we're starting to see the results on the scoreboard.
So Wanderers, after being beaten by 48 points last time they met St Mary's back in round 2, this is going to be a huge victory as players are just pointing. There's a number of players. A St Mary's player was in the defensive 50. Should have been out in the wing here is Hildebrandt. Joel Morrison calls time back on, tosses it up. Toa goes up. Priest decided to stay down, but it was well read by Erlinson from Wanderers. Kicked into the right, left forward pocket. St Mary's down on all fours, and that's the siren. And that is a victory, a big one for Wanderers. The win today puts them third on the ladder outright, and Wanderers have now won 5 in a row. That final score, Wanderers 14-14-98, have defeated St Mary's 12-7-79. A big win here at Tracy Village Oval for Wanderers. And that is a super impressive performance, and more importantly, 5 in a row. How's that for confidence, Brenton?
Yeah, great work by the Eagles. And look, that's without Darren Schillerbeer out there today. Another player that we saw walking past us at the beginning of the game, Simon Bates, he's a terrific leader for them. So good for Wanderers to get a win and maintain that momentum. I think St Mary's won't be too worried about that. I think there's a few players that they're missing from out there. They did okay to keep themselves, you know, close enough for long enough and stay within the game. As we see the two coaches there, Aaron Motlop and Anthony Villaggio, just shaking hands. Known each other for a very long time, would have played a fair amount of footy against each other, and great to see him taking that next step into the coaching arena.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? He's been terrific. He's been an absolutely wonderful player over a long period of time, Aaron Motlop, both at NTFL and Thunder level here in the territory. But yeah, I love the way the coaches come together at the end of the games. I think it's a really, really terrific thing to do. And we see Iggy Villaggio going over and doing the same to Aaron Motlop again, just like his brother Anthony, who's the coach. They've played lots and lots of footy, including grand finals that they've won and lost against Aaron Motlop. So lots and lots of history between those players.